To the close, guys. 2 o'clock. Let's take you through the final 2 hours of trading on a Tuesday. It has been a pretty muted session. That ENSC has resumed. We are trading a little bit lower. Trader Prad was talking about that halt on ENSC. A lot of people discussing that as well. Wanted to mention this CCL, also just popping up on volume here. Back to the downside, was holding 21 there for most of the midday period. We have broken back through that. Trying to head southbound. Overall, the market is negative, but only just on the day. So there's CCL. Can flip over and show you this ENSC as well. As I mentioned, back open again. 480 back to about 450 now. Still some decent volume though after that halt. Came in on that one. There we go. Yeah, basically flat for the S&P right now. 0.02 to the downside. It is negative, but only just. The Dow holding on to a gain. Small, 0.3. 0.42 from the NASDAQ there. TSX closed until tomorrow. Yeah, so the Canadian markets got it right, I guess. In Canada, both Christmas Day and Boxing Day, which is not a holiday in the U.S., but I digress. Holidays anyways, Monday and Tuesday, the market has been closed here in Toronto. 0.92 for Brazil to the downside, 0.5% for crude still. Remember, that was up almost 3% at one point. Yeah. The slide, we'll call it, for both Bitcoin and Ethereum continuing now. 6% for both to the downside. That's the lay of the land for the S&P 500. It's all about the tech sector and healthcare stocks under pressure. DXCM here in the healthcare group down 6.5%. The vaccine names under pressure there. Moderna and Pfizer leading the way, 3%, 2.5% for both of those. All of the chip makers very strong the past couple of days, back in negative territory as expected. A little bit of a pullback required. Etsy 3.7%. I just saw NUE up there 2.25% in the red. The rest of the materials group though in good shape. Otherwise, it has been, as we said, a pretty muted session so far. Quick look at the NASDAQ and then we'll get into some trades. If my window will open, apparently it's not going to for some strange reason. There we go. There's a look at the NASDAQ for you. Yeah, pretty red right across the board as we said. It is all about the tech stocks today. We've been talking the past couple of days. If you joined us, strength in tech. Today, not the case. Back to the downside. Bit of a pullback maybe needed. As we do, to kick things off in the afternoon normally, we'll talk about some of the opportunities we discussed if you joined us in the pre-market at 8:30. If you don't, make sure you start, please, joining us every day at 8:30. We talk about everything you need to know to get you going in the morning and ready for the open. Here comes Sean. He's got a review of one of his trades.
Hey, it's the trade of the day, and it's not Arun one more time. I'll do this one more time here. Maybe we can get him tomorrow as I see him smirking there in the background. I just want to talk quickly. A lot of the trade of the day and a lot of what we do here on Trader TV Live is we talk about preparation. We talk about education, and I'm often referring to this guy over here, the sticky note. We only have a few names on it, and you're going to be able to see. I know people can't read this writing, but what are you going to do? Nicola, short this name. Too much, too fast here, basically. The last couple days, too fast. 1070 breakdown. So we can remove that. And now let's have a look at sort of what we were thinking about. And so when you look at 1070, let's go over to the 20-minute chart right here. I was just looking at a breakdown back down through this level. If you take away today and you just look at what we're talking about, which is right into here, once that broke, I thought we could retrace back. Remember the story with Nicola? They deliver like between 1 to 10 trucks and then apparently a deal for more to come, about 100. But you know what? Until we see that, don't know if that's going to come through or not. We'll wait to see. And I did notice that if we're going to be wrong, where are we going to get out? Well, we looked at the last couple of days, that little tick there at 11.25. I'm always playing around quarters, and I think I have to switch that strategy. I feel like you get stop hunted at some of these obvious levels, and I've only been doing this for 20 plus years, so I need to take some lessons here and try to learn a little bit. And this is what we do today. Today's trade of the day is actually my biggest losing trade. So we're trying to review trades, what goes through our head when we're losing, and how do we properly manage it, right? Remember, I never want to take too big of a hit, especially early. I like to do 20 to 25% of my daily goal on the downside. If I'm willing to lose 1,000 or 10,000, I just take, or 100, whatever it is, your goals as well. You just take 25% of that. I'm not really willing to lose it. But in this case, that allows me to average in to a spot there where are we going to be wrong? And unfortunately, we take the early. This is nothing. This is in the pre-market. It's a small trade because we're thinking, hey, if we break back down below, we want to have something on. Even if it's small, we want to have something to make that little bit of cash and to watch the trade. That's something that I do all the time. Take a smaller position so you can kind of watch it in your account, right? In the money, out of the money, and you know you're at the right spot. So that's a 1070. Then as the market opens up to a nice little open, we get 1075. Again, always trading around that quarter. We don't even have any outs. Boom, just takes off, man. Then we take a 1080. That's our big trade, 1088, I guess it was there. And then there's another try at 11. Once it breaks back through 11, look, it's not a huge hit. Like that's 88, that's 98. So we're really losing about 12, 13, 14, 15 cents, something like that in there when we take it out. But we still have shares. We don't get it out of everything. This is like 20, 30%. We're out there twice. Then it rips up. We're like, okay, we definitely don't believe that. We are now getting in to some of this resistance. 1120, you can see some spots there. But we're like, it's not really going to break higher, is it? Boom, there it goes. It takes us out. And right here, live on the show, we flushed ourselves down the toilet, but we still held 25%. Look at this top wick. That, I mean, highlighted right there. That's that wick off top. When the buyers have expired on that move there, you get huge, huge, huge buys, and then they're done. They're done. Got stopped out there, probably similar to me, runs it up there. We get stopped out, and then look what happens. The carnival that is Nikola continues, and it's just all the way down to the downside. So, remember, we held a quarter of it. This trade doesn't turn out to be that bad. We're actually still in it. As you can see, out again, just as we break back down through 11, 1095. Then we get out 1090 again, or something like that. And then boom, there it is. We're out at 70 right now again, off of this bottom. Let it go back up. Boom, crashing back down. We are still in this name. So just to go, our sticky note, we talked about that 1070 break. Hey, we're at 1054, but again, we have to manage the trade. We're not going to win clean on every single one. Good thing we held a little bit of this all the way back down to 1050. Obviously, we didn't hold enough. Nikola's a loser, but I think we learned a lot here. Watch out for that. Get back in when you see that. Normally we do. We just didn't trust Nikola today. So next time we see a big wick off like that, boom, we take it back down to the downside or to the upside if we see one the other way. But Nikola's not going up. Trust me, it's going down. And that's your trade of the day.
Got to have a plan, got to have an understanding of what it is you're looking for as far as opportunities are concerned. That is why we spend some time every day going back over what worked, what didn't work, how we can improve going forward for the next day. That's the link to the watch list, guys, if you need an absolutely free resource. We send it out every day. But I mentioned it was for free at 8:30 before we come on in the morning. Join us then in the pre-market to kick things off for an hour before the market opens at 9:30. So this was what we came into today. Yeah, S&P 500, 69th record high close yesterday at the close. We get all-time highs then this morning right out of the gate for a 70th all-time high of the year. But maybe we are starting to run out of steam a little bit because, yeah, we're back to basically day lows here for the SPY. I mean, you can look at the futures. We'll bring Arun in here to kick things off and maybe have a look at the overall market because we are starting to head back to the downside. I mean, perspective is everything, though, guys. It's 0.2% here.
Yeah, that's exactly it. After a run of almost 300 points, as I mentioned this morning when we started this last Monday afternoon, about 300 points, 45.20, I believe, is the starting price of this entire move. And here we are, just failing underneath 4,800, and now we're taking a break, and it's, you know, S&P's down 0.2%, NASDAQ down 0.6%. I think the market gets a chance to take a breather at some point. If anything, this is a good thing because this allows the market to kind of recoup a little bit, take a break, and then if we need to take that 4,800, we go get. And as we come into the end of the year, this is a good thing, I think, for any rallies. You need this kind of a move to happen. Even if it comes back further, I can see it coming back another 50, 60 points, and this is still healthy for the S&P 500. As long as we stay strong above the 4,700, which is down here, we can come all the way back down into the 30s and still have support to work with. So this is a great thing to have the market take a break finally, because it's about time. It's been a tough game for anyone who's been late to the party. If you haven't caught the move right off the open in the last 4 or 5 trading days, it's been open, 9:30, gone to the upside. It's just been like that for days after days. Now here we are taking a break. Okay, good thing. We've got some support here. Markets are going to take a break. This is great to see as we near the end of the year. And as you can see, it doesn't mean that you can't play both sides of the market. This just allows for opportunities to buy some names that are actually further down, maybe coming off a little bit, and also play on the short side for the first time like I said, in a week or so. So here we are working on some shorts. BBIO, I actually want to talk about because that's the one position you're not seeing on the board that I just dumped. We were talking about this morning, I don't know if Scott's in the chat, but Scott, we were looking at 13 even as a potential breaker. Once we got above, went for the long, got some out in front of 40, and then it just dumped the last little bit. It seems like 1350 is going to act as a problem. So here we are getting out some of BBIO, or all of BBIO. We're fully out now. When it broke 1310, we just dumped everything that we had left. TJX, I'm still stuck in this long from above 75. It may run into some resistance. I don't know. It seems like it's stalling out here north of 75. But at the same time, I don't see enough to justify getting it out, so I'll just hold on to that trade. And then SNOW, I think we talked about SNOW. SNOW is almost, it's $8 in the money right now, and 340 was the target, right? When for anyone who was here from this morning, when we took that short, 340 was the target. Now, I got out some in front of 340 because it started to look like it was going to stall out around 343, so I kind of walked away from some of it. But I've still got some more left, and we're going to try to manage this to the best of my ability anyways. See if we can actually get more of a deeper run. See, maybe we can get a $10, $15 winner. Who knows? But SNOW is heading to the downside, down 3.32% as the futures also taking a look at potential day lows. So maybe they're going to move in sync, and this could open up some opportunities, maybe for tomorrow for some bids or whatnot. As I just talked, BBIO just took out 13.
Yeah, I just saw in the chat, I came back and sat down and they said, stop bullying Arun. I'm not bullying Arun. We're just having some fun here about the trade of the day. He's going to sit here and continue to analyze stuff for you. I'm going to handle the trade of the day. But we did get a promise to ring the bell one of these days. So maybe tomorrow on your way out.
It depends. It depends on whether I'm
flat or not.
it
depends about a trade. Yeah, of course, duh. Yeah, so we'll see about that. Maybe today then, if we are flat. My retail trade of the day, Brendan, I know you just talked a little bit about some of your trades there. We had some Walmart, we had various things, JW, and we didn't have Nordstrom's, but I had Macy's. And I mean, again, like, talk about scalp city. This is just what we do. So an epic fail here on holding. But on that note, I look over on my account and I see a green number beside Macy's. And all we were going to do today, and again, on the sticky note, we thought, or actually, no, this one's not. But we defended this, or maybe it is. We defended, I was looking at myself. No, it's not. We defended this level here today. No, it is on there. What am I talking about? Right here, it's on. Great retail firm holding the 26 long break. So that's what we wanted to do. Great little name all the way to the upside. This was an error. We didn't mean to get out the second time there, but it does pump us out. Would have loved to hold that. Macy's right now trying to find a bottom. We saw MasterCard come out and say that, hey, it was a better retail season and a better spend than they'd thought this year. So I believe Macy's on the way down here, guys. Definitely worth a buy on the 20-minute chart. You can see into 25.80, some good support there. Forget about that wick. I don't think that was that what we were talking about just right now. No, that does happen. That's this. So we were talking about this move down to the downside, and we did pick that up off of pre-market lows. So, we always talk about trading, but I just believe here, that's a 1-minute chart. Where's my daily here? There's a daily on Macy's. I believe that Macy's does get bought here by a lot. And, they've gone below the 50-period moving average, bounced a little bit off 24. I think Macy's is a screaming buy if you don't have any retail exposure. I would pick up Macy's. Remember, you have the activists talking about getting this bumped up on a better digital platform and possibly even spinning that off. So I like Macy's to at least get back here to 28 and change. I really like Macy's moving forward. Again, I think this is a monster buy, another pick of 2022.
I am actually very excited for the first couple of weeks of January as we get back into earning. I mean, it'll be the second, third, fourth week of January as we get back into earnings season because of some of these news headlines that we're getting about retail sales and things of that nature. A couple things to note to kick things off here. The Shift Pixie, I noticed a few people were talking about when this happened. Big move up to, I honestly, I can't believe this thing's $1. I just zoomed out on the daily chart to find, I think it must have been back at the beginning of the year. We were trading this thing up around $14, $15. So it's all the way back to $1. For Shift Pixie starting to go again. Also Krispy Kreme, guys, popped up a little bit early on. 18 trying to hold here for support. Decent volume on Krispy Kreme. Wanted to mention Apple, though, because we came in this morning. This 3 trillion market cap thing was hanging over everyone's heads again. 182.86 or something like that, I think it is. Or 65, I can't remember. doesn't come into play. It's a second or third attempt at that for Apple. So, I mean, the whole market back to the downside, as we've said. But Apple, constructive. I think we're holding higher, trying to put in a higher low as we speak for Apple. Sean's trying to dodge.
I was actually paying attention finally for once and trying to straighten myself out there. But yeah, Apple, Arun. I mean, they came. I started the show. Look, honestly, you guys can rewind this. We started the show talking about what happened the last couple times that Apple's hit major milestones. You can look it up. In 2018, they retraced 40% off of $1 trillion. Just recently, they retraced 20% off of $2 trillion. And now today, all there is talk. And we've been up here before. I mean, we were up here right here a couple days, about a week and a half ago. I wasn't in, I don't think this day, but we tested 182 before and dropped basically down to 179, right where we are again today. And then we come in and all the talk is about testing that high one more time. This is a 20-minute chart, right? So testing that high one more time. We're dropping back into 179. Sorry, this is the day that we're talking about, where we tested that high of 181 and fell all the way to there it is right here. Tested 181 before. That was the talk back on the 16th. So there was the talk about Apple getting to that trillion. Boom, right back down to the downside, 167. So here's the talk again today. Do we retrace back? I don't know, but Apple is helping that, theory come back in. So we'll see about Apple coming in here. I've really taken I got out of some of this at 152. I talked about that. This is a 1 minute chart. I think we got pretty heavy there after a nice pullback in up to 184. Then you have some of those, 181.40. You have some of those wicks at the top again where the buyers, look at the big buyers come in here, definitely getting exhausted through 181. And now you're seeing a move back to the downside. The largest buy, forget about the open, actually, even looking at the open, it's those buys here that are the largest of the day, and it's right when we were just peaking out. So maybe we can get some exhaustion, like right there on the sell side. There's some exhaustion back up a little bit, but if we can wait for some more volume on Apple is sort of what we need. And I'm still happy with this being out 179. I think this can be another play. I don't know of a major tech company, honestly, that have more tailwinds than Apple. I really like everything that they're in, and I own it, and I'm a big shareholder. So not big, but I'm a shareholder, and it's big in my account. So take that for what it's worth on Apple. We'll get Arun's thoughts, but just quickly here. Oh man, what the heck? I was, I guess, preparing for the trade of the day. Didn't even notice that this went all the way back up here. But when we're long at 86.75, we definitely should have took that profit as we approach VWAP. Wynn's been a great trade for us. Again, another name on the sticky note. We talked about defending 86 bucks. So we do that. And yeah, it fits like a glove. Bang, bang. Obviously, we don't have all the way upside. It fades in again. Boom, boom. Back in profits. Those are like 50, 60, 70 cents each time. Then it comes back in and we get out. We took that out. We purposely took that out. We didn't want to have a good trade turn out to be a bad. So we take it out as it gets ready to break 86.75. It doesn't. We let it settle down, build a base, take this again down here. So here we're in. What's my price? 76. We're at 95 right now. It's 20 cents. If Wynn, okay, Wynn, here we go. I see you. Maybe we can get this out again at 87.15. And if we do that, then it's Scalp Master one more time. Not that I'm one, but that's what we're doing here today. We're scalping this out, taking it out on Wynn. So let's put an offer right here at 87.15. Well, you know what? I don't know. Stocks tend to barcode. Are the futures? What do we think about the futures here? Arun, I was listening to you a little bit. Maybe we've made a bottom there. So I might hold this Wynn, see if we can retrace back up to 87.25. Thoughts on Apple or anything?
There? Apple, I think, everyone pays attention to Apple because it's getting near that market cap. But here's what I want to show you. Let's just pay attention to the chart. Because at the end of the day, the market cap, what does it really mean? I mean, it's just a number, it's a checkpoint, and then what? I mean, it's just the next thing on the board that if Apple needs to do to be one of the other big names. It's already one of the largest stocks in either indexes, S&P or the NASDAQ. And here it goes again. And today's down day doesn't really do anything. It doesn't change the chart. It doesn't affect the chart in any way. This is a daily chart. We're coming up to resistance around this 180, so it's expected to have some selling. We're coming off a little bit. It's down, 0.6%. This is not that far away from 182, that high, and that 182.72 or whatever that exact price is, but we're not that far off. And a sell move is a good thing, as I've been saying, especially with the futures as well. A sell move allows for the market to breathe a little bit, get some buyers kind of vent it or just get them to take profit without destroying the entire run, right? You trickle like this, you get some people out of the way, and then you take your next move to the upside. So any sort of sell move that looks like this, where it's just sideways action, it's a great thing to see in a market that's just going straight up. So Apple's doing its thing and doing its part on how it wants to play the game to the upside, and we're sitting around that 180 going sideways. That's perfectly fine. Futures doing about the same, right? For the most part, they're in lockstep at the moment anyways. S&P 500, I'm talking about specifically, going sideways. We're kind of, around that 4,800, we found some selling, fine. We came off about 15 points or so, 15, 20 points, and now we're finding some buying around 75. That's kind of expected as well, given what the pre-market looked like around the 75 area. So we are sitting in an area with some support. We've got some resistance above, nothing major. And I think this market's just taking a breather as we go into the end of the year.
And maybe much needed. I mean, we've had an impressive move, obviously, for the past couple of weeks here back to the upside. We were talking about, or mentioned Krispy Kreme there to start things off. D-Nut. This was, there's really no significant news, but this was out of Japan today over here. Japan getting colorful with a new range of pastel-hued donuts for 2022. So, I'm mentioning this simply because 12.5%. On a day when we see, the market basically flat, decent volume here for donut, back above 18 here, guys, heading into our last kind of 90 minutes of the day.
I'm just getting my order set up for a stock that we actually care about, Roblox, coming up very, very soon here. 101 break, I want to go long on Roblox, but sure, we'll talk about donut. I mean, what kind of a world are we in right now where donut or something like that, Krispy Kreme starts to rip up on fancy pictures of pastel-looking, not even looking very good donuts. Come on! Chart here. Okay, hold on. I'll just calm down. Let's let this load here a little bit. I don't know if you have the chart up. Okay, here we go.
There you go.
So now it's up. All right, so again, a big monster move up. I don't know if that's the reason why. It seems like that's the only thing we can find. So up 12.5% here. I don't know. We've seen QSR maybe go up on those Tim Biebs, but I mean, is that real? Are we really talking about this moving on a new thing of donuts? That probably can't be the thing. It's more maybe the fact that in Japan they are starting to make some moves over there. This has been actually an okay IPO. It's just getting above sort of some of the prices that it was on in its very first day. We come out at 15.50. We ripped all the way to 21. I remember this day. We crushed these IPOs. When the IPOs come out with fanfare, they're kind of easy to trade, but then look what happens, right? The same thing with Rivian, the same thing with a lot of these names as we go in. So, it's so spontaneous, the things that he says. It's great. Yeah, thanks, Corn Guy, right there. Yeah, I don't even know where I come up with some of these things, but at the same time, trying to entertain a little bit. If you're a shareholder of Donut, great. Maybe you would know more about this. And of course, it's Krispy Kreme. I love the name. It's an awesome ticker as you go to the upside here. But again, 2 million shares is pretty nice. Some nice bottoms here at 16 and change. If you're on the 20-minute chart, it held 15.50. A nice move back up. Let's see if it can take out some of these levels where we've been before. So 18, 19, 20. For me, there's no day trade here, but it's an interesting little story. It can't be the reason why for the new donuts, but at the same time, a nice move back to the upside. Maybe 2022 is the year of Krispy Kreme.
That's the way it's looking, right? Donuts looking like it's found a nice little base, especially around that 14 area. I feel like there's a ton of action here based on what the chart looks like anyways, how sharp the moves are from 13 even into 14. There seems to be a decent amount of activity, and the angle of movement allows you to make that, makes you think, hey, look, is there a possibility that, let me just draw this line so I can actually put this out there. If you were to ignore all the sharper opens to the downside, look at that angle. This seems a little too systematic for me to consider the idea that this is kind of like, this is just moving up because of a single donut. It feels like this has been in play since mid-November. Apart from that one move in early December, it seems like there's a systematic purchase going on. I keep an eye on this, especially if we can get above this 19 to 20 area. That seems to be the next little resistance above. And the way it's moving, I think we can get there and take a look. I think just keep an eye on this and how it moves. And I think once you cross 20, you're probably going to get a lot more activity to the upside, given what the resistance levels look like.
Everybody loves a good donut. CCL, I started the show off showing you this, but we're right back up to that 21 again. I did see this headline. They have come out and said most itineraries remain unchanged despite a surge in Omicron cases. I read during lunchtime, at one point there was 89 cruise ships with confirmed cases of COVID on them. So, I mean, this seems like, I feel like a broken record here. We talk about this so many times of COVID and not going on cruise ships, but here we are again, trying to give back everything that we saw this morning for CCL.
Yeah, I have yesterday's trade up. I mean, CCL just not on the radar today. And I actually, even before we came on, the show in the afternoon, Arun and I talking a few stocks, a few names, what were we going to look at? We shorted CCL yesterday, and it was a good trade, man. We each picked the bottom there at 20 bucks. Shout out to Daryl, who was on this trade, I believe, as well. And then it bounced all the way to the upside and stopped yesterday at 21.11, right? And then you come in today, and basically it gives you that 20.50 again. I just didn't really see, like, what is this move about here? Like, we went from 20.50 all the way to 21.80 on CCL. Like, that's crazy. That's a big time move to the upside here on CCL. And then all of a sudden you see a lot of volume coming through. You don't see any wick off tops here or anything like that. And then it just completely turns around. And now we're back to 21 flat basically on CCL. Still a nice day. I did see that same report about the cruise lines. And I don't know, like, did we maybe touch a key level here of 22? Can't really see anything there. That's a 1 minute. Where's the 20 minute to give us a little bit broader range here? I don't know. I mean, we were up here on the 23rd, but yeah, maybe there is something there. Now that I look at this, maybe this is just what it is. Maybe there's just sellers. We topped out here 2 days ago at 21.80. Yesterday, we never even came close. And then today, we top out there again. So if we're going to play this top and bottom game, then I guess we got to buy again somewhere around here, 20.50 one more time. So if CCL does fade out, that's a name that we want to look for back in, but I don't know. What did? Let's see if this was specific. What did RCLH? I think that's RCL, isn't it? Royal Caribbean. Yeah. Let's see. Did that have a same move here this morning on the 20 minute? Again, when the chart loads up here, we'll switch over to a 1 minute. Yeah. So it was kind of a big move as well in all cruise lines today. Started off real nice, and I think it has to do with what we talked about earlier, was the change from the CDC in the isolation period. So going from 10 days to 5 days. Now, of course, there are some contingencies there. You have to be vaccinated. You have to be asymptomatic. There's a bunch of different things there. But anyways, RCL one more time doesn't touch 81 high, but does touch right here 80. So, a couple double tops here. We could see what happens with RCL moving forward. But that Carnival trade definitely took me by surprise. It wasn't even really on my radar, and it rips up $1.30. So there you go.
At least now, you know what, with the way Carnival's moving anyways, we can actually look at potential reads here. Now, I've set alert north of 22 because we are entering this little area here around that 21.50, 22 area. We've passed it today. Now, after it's come off, I'm looking at it now, and it's on the radar now. But I want to see pretty much from 21.50 going up to 23, there should be some sort of a setup. When I mean setup, I mean to fade any sort of upside move. If we can get a setup north of 22 to short, I would like to see that actually, just because of where we are and how we're reacting already. So a sharp move to the upside that's being sold off throughout the day today, and a move like that tomorrow that kind of stalls out around 22 should provide an opportunity to go for the short. So that's what I'm looking for on CCL as we go back to Brendan.
It is trading strategy time, guys. Get out your pens and pencils. We're going to give you an idea that you can then go and test in the market and see if it actually works for you and come up with a way to implement it, maybe to assist in your trading. And we're talking about retracements specifically today. So we're going to give you a bunch of examples here and ideas of how a retracement, which is a very broad term, can be used in day-to-day trading. Guys, let's get into it.
So I'm just going to use volume weighted average price. Thanks, Brendan, for that one. And what a retracement basically is, it can be done both on the upside and on the downside. And what you're trying to basically do is call something retracing back towards something or back down into something. We've had a few examples today with Wynn. I can call off that, and we can look at that in a second. Or we could just look simply here at AMD. Once again, another mover. So here's volume weighted average price, right? The one thing to note when you're looking for which direction to do, here's the NASDAQ. It's okay, let me just move this so you can see it. We're down 0.43 today. Note what AMD is down. So we're going to move this back over here. So AMD here, double to the downside right now on what the NASDAQ is doing, right? So what you have to notice is, first of all, that the name is weak today, right? And I always say, if you're going to play any kind of strategies, you have to let the first I mean, this example is going to work because I'm going to say the first half hour, but generally speaking, let the market settle down and try not to make a call on a name until you really see what the market wants to do and what your stock wants to do. When you're day trading and you're scalping, maybe a completely different story. You want to take advantage of some of these moves. But what I'm talking about with retracement is once we've seen the negativity here on AMD, you know, lower high, as we keep going all the way down in, we can see, look at this retracement. So the move's all the way back down. You're like, oh man, I've missed AMD. But look at it retrace right back to VWAP. Hit it right there at 154. Maybe I can zoom this back a little bit. Hitting it right here at 154, right? Back down. Back in, hitting it, retracing back to VWAP again. Boom, coming back to VWAP one more time there. Boom, then coming back in again right now. This is another shorting opportunity. Until it breaks whatever indicator you're looking at, you got to keep playing these retracements back up because the market and the stock will give this to you. You don't need to be perfect on all of your entries. I want to look one more time here to Wynn. The same thing today. And I took off my fills. I mean, I could put them back in to show you, but this is what we're talking about. Let me put it back in here quickly just to show you on Wynn here because it makes sense what we've been doing. Look at this retracement back in. So here we go. We take the bid there, right? Boom, boom. We take another bid down here. Then look what happens when it comes back in. We're building levels. So let it rip up. Come back in and fill us down here. Let it retrace back to levels that we have under consideration. So Wynn comes back in, retraces back in right there. And this should have been a buy. We've been busy. You know, we were doing various things, the trade of the day and whatnot, but it comes back in, fills that, and then bumps one more time. So Wynn retracing back down to key levels, always important on the upside. And then AMD, the flip side there, looking for a weak stock, finding it, and then finding a level that we could get back in. And for me, that retrace right back to VWAP, Arun.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Retracement strategies are, there's two parts to them, right? First part is that you have to identify the direction that the primary trend or the direction is. So in this case, I'll just look at the chart. Let's ignore the name of the stock. Well, let's just look at this chart. And I think it's pretty clear the way it's moving that the trend is to the upside, the strength is to the upside. So a retracement in this case would be a downside move back into support. Now this is a daily chart. Obviously I'm going to go in the direction of the daily because I feel like a lot of information is here and available that can be used on the intraday level if you choose to, or if you choose to swing this as well, you can just easily turn that trade into a swing. But identify the major trend, in this case buy side. It's gone strong. You know where the levels are, where it's really hesitating. It seems to be around this 170, 167 area. Market goes, still strong. Can it come back into the support area or previous resistance? It comes back. Now, I don't have any lines. I don't have any indicators. You can use lines. There are Bollinger Bands and other types of indicators you can use. I try to stay away from those, primarily because I like to focus on where the volume is, where I would assume the volume would be based on what the chart looks like. So anytime you retrace back from the main trend into support, where I'm going to see volume, where I would expect volume, where the volume has been in the past, the market comes back into that 167, 170 area, finds a nice little bid, and decides that it wants to keep going. That's Apple for you, by the way. So it went as high as 182, came all the way down to 167 and change, where the support is. It seems like support is somewhere between 165 and 170. It came back down, caught a bid in that previous resistance zone, and bounced back. So that's the way I would identify retracements. Find the main trend first, figure out where the resistance levels are on the way up, and then look for a retracement or a pullback into that previous resistance, look for a reason to go long, and then catch the bid and see if you can actually join the trend at that point.
The best part of this is that we're talking about something that is transparent throughout all time frames. So Arun giving you an example there on a daily time frame. I'll expand on that a little bit here and give you two different looks here. This is the daily time frame, first off, of this BVXV that we were looking at this very day, in fact. So on a daily time frame, as Arun was saying, identify the trend. Pretty clear. Overall, this is a weak stock. We're trending to the downside on the daily time frame. Today we come in and we're gapping back into some significant areas of resistance that came into play in the past. If I zoom in then to the intraday time frame, so this was this morning, there's those same levels, 320, 340. Trades below one of those significant levels gives you a great opportunity to catch a move to the downside. Obviously should have helped some, but that is another video. Great concept And as I said, it's one of those ideas and tools that you can implement throughout multiple different time frames. It's the same idea, guys. That is trading retracements. Hope you like that one. Let's continue along, guys. We'll talk about some opportunities we can get into maybe before this market closes for the day today. We've had decent moves both in GME, Sean, and also in AMC once again today. Still riding. I read even last night, in fact, this Spider-Man movie continues to do crazy numbers still coming out of the holidays as we saw going into the holidays. So AMC back in focus once again.
Yeah, I don't know much about the Spider-Man movie, but, is it that good? I mean, let me know, guys, in the chat. I mean, maybe we'll go check that out. But I don't even think here in Canada right now you can even serve popcorn or anything like that in a theater. I know I was about to go to maybe a Raptors game, but you can't even serve beer or anything in those games right now, which is crazy. So that's definitely affecting some of the opinions we have here up in Canada about what exactly is happening right now with Omicron and COVID and things like that. But here it is, man. Let's go quickly to Ms. V. Maybe she has something, and then we'll come back to this. What's up, Ms. V?
Hey, Sean, yes, I've got a super chat for you from Amir Zing. Thank you, Amir. Love the show. Sean doesn't like my jokes, but for long term and 2022, I need some blue chip stocks. Do you like Google or Amazon here for long part? Sean, Amazon, Google for long term?
Amazon and Google, yeah, both for a long term. I will take that chat. I thought it was some sort of a breaking news. Otherwise, you would have finished thought here a little bit on AMC. But thank you, Ms. V. We will look at that. Thank you, Amir Zing. Obviously, all the super chats mean a lot to me and to all of us. I think if you're looking for long-term, I'll just do it now since you're here. I think if you're looking for long-term stocks, especially for 2022, this is not going to be the year that you take shots. And I know I'm recommending SoFi, but I'm not sure this is the right year to take shots on stocks that don't make any money. The Fed has turned obviously very hawkish now. We're going to see at least 2, I think. 3 is what they're indicating. Interest rate hikes right now. That's not good when you're sort of planning out for future growth. You have to take in consideration cash flow. Shout out to Kevin O'Leary. And I just don't see that a lot of these companies today making a hell of a lot of money. So I always go back to the big dogs, right? Facebook, you back out the cash. What an amazing company Facebook is on their balance sheet. Tons of profit centers there for them. My chart's not going to work, but I do like Facebook moving forward. Here's a daily chart. A good opportunity to pick them up. I think we definitely retest highs here, especially when Metaverse is going to get upgraded over and over and over and over again. If you don't know which one to pick, I like SMH. And obviously in the semi sector there, I would just take AMD and NVIDIA. I would wait for a little bit of pullbacks. A lot of these names have been heated up recently, but you can't. I call it Microsoft, and look what loads up, Facebook. So let's just hit this again and let this load. Is ours? I mean, I think our charts today maybe too much rum and eggnog. I'm not sure what's happening here, but I think you pick up any of these names near or below their 50-period moving average. I mean, we're not even in a great. I mean, we're in a great period right now. But look at Microsoft. How many times do we need to bounce? Like, look at this. You want to talk about something riding the 50-period moving average all the way up, Amir Zing. And I like your jokes, man. Put a joke in the chat. I'll tell you if I like it. But all the way to the downside, look at this thing, just riding. Like, if you took the advice, the same advice I'm giving today, if you took this advice a year ago, you're long softy, guys, at 2 bills. And I mean, I'm long way below this. I know a lot of you are as well. And look at it, just ride. You don't need to get out. It's just here for the ride, man, all the way to the upside. We dip below for what, 5 days here? We dip below for 1, 2, 3 days here, maybe not even. We dip below here for about not even that many days. These aren't even dips below. So I like softy. And then you mentioned Google. If you're talking about a 50-period moving average, there's going to be no better stock than this one. Let it ride up. But anyways, you're going to see this one just continue its move. We do have some of these bad wicks here, but look at this, man. And again, you take this in January, 1,700. You're at 2,900, and it's not. And Arun finally bought a Pixel, so this stock should rifle up. People switching over, coming over to Android. Although I think you're sort of like,
I'm in a special case. I'm a specialist.
Yeah, that's for sure. But with regards to Android, yeah, many people switching over, and I think that you made the choice. I don't know. Let me discuss this with you actually right now. So my wife, I think similar to yours, you mentioned, is an Apple holder. So why did we stay away from Apple? Why did we go? Like, I've been Pixel. I bought the Pixel 1. I had the Nexus Pixel. I had everything through and through. So I've been Android for a while. But what made you sort of go into that?
I just never got into the Apple world of things. I think I was always a Windows user, and when Apple kind of started with their computers,
right,
and I just never jumped on board early on, and she did, my wife did. So she got caught up in the environment, and then she has her phone, she has everything essentially. So from phones and tablets to cell phones, right? Phones, tablets, and computers, I mean. And me, I just never caught on, so I stuck with Windows. And then I went to use an iPhone. I was like, not a fan of this environment. And then went back to Android, which seems to be a little bit better, at least from the way I use it anyways. And here I am, still sticking with Android, preferably BlackBerry if they could just make a new phone, which has, to be fair, they've already moved on to Android as well. So I guess I really don't have many options left since BlackBerry stopped making their own software.
Yeah, I guess the word I was looking for there was ecosystem, right?
Ecosystem.
So I
said environment.
Yeah, we both said environment there. But once you're in the ecosystem, it is hard to get out. Why do I always call Microsoft Softy? Oh, it's just what I do. I call it Mr. Softy sometimes. And so if you ever hear me talking about Softy, you know it's Microsoft. And I'm pretty sure I'm stealing that from somewhere. But anyways, that's what I call it. So thank you, Amir Singh, for that quick super chat. And I hope a lot of you enjoyed at least some of the talk there. For AMC, though, this is what we talked about. I haven't seen the Spider-Man movie, and I think it would be something cool. You're not wearing the Spider-Man shirt today. Thanks for promoting the show, though, with Trader TV Live. You know, look, it fell down, and we don't have any outs besides these. So it's not a profitable trade yet for us. It was profitable when it was all the way back up here. It's very, very close to being in the money. We put on the bigger trade down here. We talked about that, defending that 27.50 area, but we did, again, we're just a man of our word. We take the trades when they come through. At the beginning of the day, I tweeted out, let's see if AMC wants to defend $28 again. So we let this rip all the way to 30. We missed that first defense of 28, which was so beautiful. Like, to be long down here, it's where we should have been. We should have parked in order there. We didn't. We would have had that, and that would have looked pretty sweet. But it comes back in. We take that same level again off the open. And then we just let it cruise because this is not a big position. And why did we let it break 28? Well, if you look over here on the 20-minute chart, this is what we've made money on the last couple of days. We had this AMC bottom. We've had these bottoms, so we're waiting for it. And today we have another bottom, 27.50. So you can see that's where we're long at. We're long at 27.80. We're waiting to see if it can tick down. But we did make a mistake because we should have got out again when, where is that? I don't know where that minute chart is. Oh man, here it is right here. So we should have got out when we ripped back up to view up there at 28.50. That should have been a spot to take it out. We'll see if it can get going. Let's see if the apes can get back in here. And I'm no ape because I'm selling all the way up, but we're just trying to make money here. We have to be flat at the end of the day. It's getting close, man. It's only 242. Look at the NASDAQ battling back. This may be another area right here. Take a few more shares of AMC. I think we'll do that if it gets back into the 80s. We're going to be a buyer of AMC, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to go through the chat here and try to answer some questions. I know Amir Singh sent you another one there, Sean. Happy birthday, VWAP Trader, I believe, along with Prad's mom. I know that was out there. And I also want to put it out there. Yes, for anyone who doesn't know, because there was like, oh, Rune's talking about Blackberries? Yeah, man, I just switched over to a Pixel, like at the beginning of this month. Not even beginning, I want to say
like last week, I thought.
A few weeks, like, yeah, maybe 2 weeks ago or so. Yeah, so BlackBerry, the Passport, it is out of commission, will be going out of commission at the end of the year because, you know, it's a legacy device which won't be supported from BlackBerry, and their servers are going down, or for that phone specifically going down, so I won't have access to be able to use it anymore as a phone. So I will bring it in on Thursday. This will be the last time you will ever see that BlackBerry Passport. I don't know if you've ever seen one, but in case you haven't, I will be able to show you my BlackBerry Passport, which will be going into, people were telling me that I should hang it up. What did you say, Randy? The Smithsonian might take it, actually. It might be one of the last red passports around, but here we are still talking about that one. But yeah, now I've moved on to the Google Pixel, so Pixel 6, yeah, that's the latest one. So here we are waiting on this one to kind of, maybe BlackBerry makes a new phone. I don't know. Yeah, and somebody was saying, yeah, everyone's talking about phones. The market must be slow. Yeah, yeah, they are. Look at this. This is what we've done since about 11:30. Low of 70, high of 82. And we've done absolutely nothing except for this one little move here, which was around 12:55, 1 o'clock, I would imagine has something to do with the bond auction. So here we are, 47.82, 47.73. That's the move. That's the only big move in the last 2 hours, maybe more, 2.5 hours. And here we are waiting for this market to actually do something at some point. So here we are. We're riding snowflake still. It kind of bounced back from 340. This is only in trail stop mode now. I'm going to keep it somewhere north of 342. I'll lock in like $6 or so on the remaining portion of this position in the event that we actually don't go past 340. Now, 340 was the target, but I kind of had to step out a little bit earlier just because of the way it was reacting around 343. And now that we've gone through 340, that kind of confirms the reason why I chose 340 as the target. And now we're just going to trail it out. And then TJX just is bleeding out. Where's TJX? Right here. I mean, it was showing enough signs that it didn't want to go up. And I'm like, it has a chance still. And now it's just leaking. It's down like 28 cents. And the risk on this isn't high. It's only going to be like 80 cents. But at the same time, I wasn't in a rush to get out. I'm still not in a rush to get out. I still have some support here around the 50s, and I'll just play this one out. And I don't see myself getting into anything else big. There's nothing else going crazy, nothing else that would be setting up, especially for the way I trade. So here we are just waiting for this market to do something. I don't care the direction, just do something, and I might participate on the future side of it if we actually just get a move.
Yeah, waiting. I mean, similarly, waiting for some sort of a move here in the market, and we'll see if we get one. I mean, I think we will at some point here. The market just ticked down a little bit there. Obviously, don't know what that's about, but a little bit of a move down. Nothing crazy, but we are getting near the lows again, and it's never a good sign when the market closes at the lows. We've talked about Santa Claus coming to town here. We'll see if he's maybe stopped and there's put some coal into some bags here today as we're down 0.5. But hey, I mean, look, Santa Claus came, and he came with bells on over the last couple of days. So hopefully you're able to take a little bit of advantage of that one. I see this 1 minute ago. What do you prefer, Apple or Android? I can't vote, but I'm pretty sure Apple is going to win that. Apple, the most sold phone, I believe. Anyways, the iPhone coming through. So we will find out about that. Yeah, I don't really like this market moving to the downside. Again, affecting this AMC trade. We are going to be a buyer down here. I did put a bid. Almost close enough to now, low 80s here. So we'll get filled in the mid 80s, actually 84. We'll see if we can get a fill there, back down to the downside right now. You want a shout out? Okay, here we go. This guy wants a shout out. What's up? I deserve a shout out for poll question. Yeah. What up, Grant? There you go. Thank you so much to Grant. Oh, somebody else wanted a shout out too. Who was it? I'll find who it was. What's up to Jay Buckley there? What's up to Daryl? What's up to Amir Zing? You guys are all in all the time. So that's good. Thank you so much for everything. I still can't vote on polls, and I have to check it out. I mean, I think I'm just banned in general, so we'll have to see why that is. But maybe we can get the results. Valeria will update the results as we go. Just a quick one there. Like, how stupid is this again, man? We talked about Wynn going right back to this level, and then I was going to take it out, but didn't. So, we are responsible for everything that we do here, and I didn't do good right there. So that's on me. That's my bad. We should have got out there. Again, as it makes this top, we're going to put an offer there this time and get out at 87.20 if we can on Wynn Casinos there on a nice little big up there. What up, Daryl? There you go. You love the show. Yeah, we love you, Daryl. Daryl, if you ever want to get updates on CCL and a few other positions here, Daryl seems to be great at reading these. Shout out to you, Daryl. And I still remember when you were on our show, a great guest trader of the day, which I'm working on it. We'll see if we bring those back. I think that is something that we should be doing very, very soon. Fisker, man, back down to $16. What is going on with FSR today? This is, again, I'm so glad that I'm like kind of hiding out in Ford. I really like Ford. It doesn't give me 6% down moves here. Like, what? I know that Build Back Better plan, which didn't happen, was crushing some of those EV incentives and things like that. But wow, Fisker on a 20-minute chart, just sick to my stomach here. Keeps going down. You see the daily chart. I mean, not getting any love. We're bouncing off a 200 period, but or not bouncing, we're testing it right now at 1590. But you could see we broke that 50 period moving average. I still feel like SoFi, Fisker, a lot of these names had a beautiful run there, and we should have cashed all of these out, but we didn't, hoping for greener skies, and that really sucks. And I mean, just going to my own talk, a lot of these trades that you see me in, PaySafe, Clover, Fisker, some of these ones that are like, you know, kind of shots in the dark, that's really what they are. That's why I like, Amir Zing, your question about trying to find some value, where to hide now. I mean, I think that I've talked about this since we started the show. A lot of big cap tech is like my favorite, and I think you got to stay in the Apples, the Microsofts of the world. If you're going to really invest some cash, put it in also some indexes, buy the Qs. I mean, the S&P is at the all-time highs right now. Although we discuss, you know, all these moves on a day-to-day basis, it just turns out that especially, and I know, Brendan, you have had some names too, where you could buy the S&P, some names, I can't remember, SDS maybe, a dividend-paying S&P 500 stock ETF. So those are some names that I like if you have some real capital to push in. Also, I did see some questions about ARK. That's on the Amex, right? Yeah, so I keep calling it Amex, but NYSE America. I think ARK, come on, chart, let's go. You switch from an NY stock. You can go to the screen at some point here. We'll load. You know, I like this. For Aunt Kathy, you know, I spoke to her over Christmas, and, you know, I didn't. She's not my aunt. But, you know, I really think that this is one name. Instead of trying to pick things out of the blue, I'm long this name at 92 or 93. So this is not, you know, a big win for me by any stretch of the imagination, and I want to hold this all year. I think instead of picking DraftKings or even Palantir or UiPath or Teladoc or some of these other names that just aren't working right now, if you did want to believe in some of those names and wanted to hide somewhere, although you're not hiding too much. I mean, you're down 20% here from November in this name. But, you know, an ETF like an ARK is much more suggested right now by me than some of these names that are high valuation names that really don't have that cash flow. So that's something that we're a little worried about on my side here as we go. But AMC right there, okay, we got the... on AM, oh yeah, of course, we clicked AMC, it won't load. Well, what am I thinking? There it is right here. So we are reloaded now on AMC. We talked about getting some 80s, so let's test that. A break of the day's low, guy, and we'll change our mind. 27.50, we're out of this stock. So right now, let's see if AMC makes that dream work, man. Teamwork makes the dream work. So let's see if we can get this going to the upside. Oh, I'm not talking about team trading. Oh my God. Now we're going to get compliance all over this. It's just, let's share some ideas here, guys. As AMC, we've bought this bottom right now. We talked about it while it was up here. So let's see if it goes. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. But teamwork does make the dream work. And that's what's so good about tradertv.live. Team member, team member, team member. Valeria over there, everybody. Is Valeria checking out what to buy again? It was last week, Brendan, where Neil saw Valeria checking out watches, checking out perfume, checking out bags. What is in your bag, Ms. V? What are you up to over there?
Christmas is over, Sean. Shopping is over. Working, hardly working.
I'm just playing around. Of course, she's hardworking. But that was fun last week. And Ms. V always... And it's funny because someone on the, oh, that's what it was. I got to give a big shout out. I apologize, Prad. I have no idea your mother's name, so I'm going to shout out happy birthday to Mr. Prad's mother. So there you go. Happy birthday. You've raised a fine kid, but I think he's gotten better since we've gotten our hands on him. Happy birthday to you, and congratulations on Prad's success. And believe me, he's going to do much bigger things. We have a lot of things in store for him. He's a hard worker. Pardon? Shout out to Rob's father. Can we get a name? Greg. Shout out to Greg. And happy birthday to you from Rob. Rob, if you want to give a shout out to him, grab a mic and do that yourself as well. We could send him that clip. But hey, it's birthday time everywhere. And a big shout out, what did he say, the 28th? Happy belated to the man that sits in your seat. Neil's birthday is actually Boxing Day.
Oh.
Yeah, so he turned 71. And happy birthday, Neil. You never looked better, my friend.
Yeah, he's out there enjoying his pineapple pizza with his dentures out. So here we go. On on the market while we're sitting here. He's enjoying food out East Coast. Nick was putting in the chat, Upstart. I saw you the first time, Nick. I like your questions. Often you have pretty good questions too. Upstart is one of those names I was trading, but I will get to it once we come back from Brendan.
I was just going to mention, guys, these retail stocks getting a bit of a boost. They broke it down. So that 8.5% increase, year-over-year increase we've been talking about from MasterCard. They broke it down by state to state data throughout the U.S. And obviously, the highest increases came from states with the lowest amount of COVID cases because everything has to go back to COVID. This one, though, Dollar General, we haven't mentioned for the past couple of days, having quite the move here today. DG up 1.7%. A couple of people talking about that. Back towards some big levels, though, for Dollar General.
All right, back to Upstart.
Neil's not 71.
No, he's
Go ahead.
No, he's not.
72.
I thought that was pretty obvious, but to clarify, Neil is not 71.
Yeah.
Okay, Upstart. So this was a trade that we were trading yesterday. We had a nice little long here around 160. We dumped it somewhere around 161, somewhere south of that. So Upstart, from the daily chart, I've been looking at this 164 level. Now, yesterday I thought we had a chance to take it, and that's why I went ahead and took that long around 160. It was a tight risk trying to take that 164. Never got around to doing it. And then today I was like, okay, well, maybe if we get above 164 and stay above 164, we can actually get going. We never got above 163, and here we are off at 148. So 164 is still, for me, the daily chart. If we can get above there, I feel like we can get some sort of trades going here. Just north of 164, maybe towards the 196 into the 200. So limited upside. But I think when you go back to the weekly, I know Nick, you were asking about the longer term read here. I think 220 has to be the cutoff here. If we can get above 220, then the weekly chart turns around and actually gives you a nice little base here between 160 and 220. So we do need to clear 220. Intraday can start, or the multi-day setup can start at 164, but limited upside. And once we clear 220, you have that nice little support from the weekly to the upside towards maybe we get to that 300 into the 320s. Now, if we keep going down, you're going to see some activity in the 120 area and then into the 100. So there is like support all the way down towards 80 as well below us. So just be aware that Upstart needs to start going up for these REITs to actually get going, because 164 seems to be a problem now. Downward momentum after a nice little gap here on the 9th to the 10th. So downward momentum with a gap, and we can't get anything going north of 164. Yeah, I think you've got to stay out of this at least until we get to the 120s. You might have some support there, as I mentioned, and then 100 would be your next level to work with. But I think at the very minimum for any longs, you got to go for 164 to play the intraday, or at least the swing, and then 220 for the weekly.
I promised Justin, so we're going to find out if he's still in the building. There's Trader Brad, so I did hope that he was able to get a cake, and we shouted out your mother one more time there, Trader Brad. So she's getting a lot of love here on the chat for her birthday, and so is Rob's father. So what's up to Greg, and what's up to everybody's birthday today? Very, very exciting. And there it is, man. We'll drop a little bit of a grenade. It's not a big one, but we were right, at least on the reload here of AMC. Wow, I really like that. That's a cool animation there. So we did get out there at 05 or 02 or whatever it was on a break there. It did wick all the way to 06. We pushed offer enter, but it looks like we got 02 there. So a buy at 84, out 02. It's just 20 cents, but we talked about scalping this thing. Look, I've sat here the last, I don't know, what is it, 6, 7, 8 days, something like that. And we've just seen barcoding pretty much every single afternoon. So when that happens, man, we do have to take profit there. And we do that. We take that out on AMC. Neil and I are the same age. What's up, Brendan?
Delta, guys, just popping back up here on a volume scanner. Well, we're at day highs. They were just saying, so Delta expecting to cancel upwards of 250 additional flights. So that's on top of 4,133 scheduled for, looks like domestic flights for Delta. So just updating some of their cancellations, it looks like. We're back to day highs, though. Decent day for DAL.
I just want to clarify a question, Brendan. Are they based, can you find out if they're actually, these cancellations are weather related, or if they're actually staff related or COVID related? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Staffing.
Staffing.
Yeah.
Oh, COVID staffing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, there's different rules and whatnot, and obviously they don't want to have, stewardess, etc. Yeah, different
Yeah,
story.
because Air Canada had a bunch of cancellations, which was based on weather. the other day.
Ooh, I just got an email reminder to change my furnace filter. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, remember guys, change your furnace filter when you get a chance. I actually picked a good one up, and it was actually a funny story. I picked up like a 6-pack off Amazon, and it was like you could pay, I don't know what it was, $150 or something for 6 furnace filters, or they had one in their warehouse, and I didn't even know Amazon did this. And I was like, okay, I'll see what this is about. Anyways, it was like $150 for 6 filters, Filtrate, the good ones, or it was like $100, but they had one in the warehouse, and then you click on the little note there, and it said, like, Justin could talk about this when he comes on, and they had a damaged something in the warehouse, but it said something like, what do they call when it's just, yeah, no, not used filters, but that's a good one there. But it was cosmetic, that's what it was. The outside box had cosmetic damage. So I was like, you know what, I'll take it. If I get it and all the things are all ripped up, all the filters, I'll just send it back, right? But anyways, it comes like a day later, it's Amazon, I'll send it back. It comes a day later, and literally the box that it was in was like, had like some tearing at the top. It wasn't even opened. So I opened up it, perfect 6 filters right in there. Absolutely no damage done whatsoever. So I saved, yeah, it was like a huge score. Saved that $50 there on some good furnace filters. And, you know, we have the dog, although she's non-shedding, hypoallergenic, but we got a dog, a cat, and then, you know, 4 humans living in the house. So obviously need to change your filters up there. Don't need to start a fire there. And I see Arun hanging on the edge of your seat on that story. So have you changed your furnace filter?
No, I have not. Just call somebody to do it. Open box situation. Those are always
over here.
Open box situations always the best. I feel like you get a ton of deals in open box situation because a lot of the times it's just people get it, they open it, they're like, you know what, I changed my mind, I'm going to return it. Store has to declare that as an open box because the chat was saying that, and then, you know, you get a nice little discount on that. Usually it's about what, 15-20% off the top. And then the product's still brand new, because if it's used, I believe they have to say it's refurbished, right? It has to, if it's tech anyways.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's got to be open box. So you get a ton of deals off of going with the open box.
Even Best Buy, like some of them are like that Geek Squad certified. So if that happens, then I think you even get the warranty as well. So
there you go.
I don't know what we're doing, but we're trading. We're trying to trade anyways. So let's get back to that quickly right now. I did put the order on for Wynn. So if Wynn gets back up here to 87.20, we will cash that out finally on Wynn. And then Nikola, okay, maybe you found a bottom at 10.50. So we'll wait to that. We do have the short on here, 53 cents, but it was the trade of the day. We explained exactly all of our moves here. And, you know, not proud of this trade of the day, but still pretty happy with the way it turned out, back down to the downside. I even learned something on that trade as well. But yeah, Neil and I, we talk about it all the time, being frugal, always looking for deals. And it's like, if something's $100, they can put it up to 120, then call it 20% off, and I would grab that. So that's how foolishly I am for these deals. Whoever called AMD on a run, I saw somebody mention that on the chat there, and yeah, what a good run that's been on today. We talked about the retracement strategy up against VWAP here. I didn't reshort it. It's just, AMD is not a name that I want to short until we're at like days high and things like that. The runs that this name could go on is absolutely unbelievable. So we'll see what it wants to do here, but it looks like it's bounced off 154 a bit. The NASDAQ, you know, it's all about the NASDAQ, man. Like, if this breaks through 16,500, then obviously I think we can retrace back up and even turn this thing green. But right now it is having a hard time. And this is what I said. This is the afternoon doldrums, right? You get some nice moves here in the open. And then right now, basically since like 1 o'clock, I mean, we had that move down here, but, you know, we've kind of just been sideways here. So, you know, not much happening on the market. So we got to be very, very specific about some of our trades. I did like a Roblox break, and I got to actually cancel that rate. Oops, that's an NY. Oh, God. How long will this take? Ooh, see? Rifled through there. Sometimes all we have to do is complain. I did like a Roblox break back above 101. Just thought if we got through some of this stuff here. But now, you want to talk about barcoding. Roblox down that 6%, and look what it's doing now. So not doing much. Maybe this break right here where we sort of start. I mean, the cascading started up here, which is why we kind of wanted to buy halfway through. But maybe Roblox can get going. It's never good to like double chase a story. So if the story's out that Roblox daily active users are having some problems here, you know, this is not something that we necessarily want to go long on. But if the market does bust out, which it looks like it's coming down, I would look at a I look at a 99.50 maybe, but to be more specific, nothing wrong with taking a 100 break. I wouldn't take the 100 break. I'd level it up to here, about 125. Make sure that we get through some of this stuff. But that's what I'm looking for Roblox. Maybe a flush and then one of those wick-off bottoms to go long here on RBLX.
What's funny is that Roblox, this was on my radar. It's just too expensive in terms of risk. I was like, as we were entering this 105, 106 area, I was like, man, there's a lot of resistance into the 108s, into the 110s. I'm like, the closest stop I can potentially use is like 116. So in my head, when I came in this morning, I'm like, okay, there could be a nice little trade here, but it's got to get above at least 108. At least get me up here, close to yesterday's high. Then I'll make a decision on whether the short was. It seems like it went from 103 and change in the morning, got as high as 106.70 something, and then decided, nope, we're going back down. And yes, it's a huge trade. Yeah, it's at 98, but the risk to take that short, even though it's there, was so high, though. You got to use 116 to get it. So, I mean, if the trade is there, but at some point you got to be like, you know what, the risk is just way too expensive for me in this case, so walk away from it. And that's what happened in terms of Roblox. Brendan?
I was just getting Miss V's take on this headline as well. They discussed this during Market Movers today. Yeah, Paris Hilton, guys, launching a metaverse store on Roblox and a business on Roblox. So not saying that's the reason that's down so much, but there is that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea why that would be a reason whatsoever. But I mean, I like Roblox. We were emptying out some of our bags, not our bags. I mean, they're great bags. We bought it before. And this is, again, it was a shot in the dark. I never normally buy anything before earnings, but my very first Roblox trade is actually a 75 or 6 long the day before it popped up. So, we were really super lucky. And obviously we got some out even that day, like 100, 101, something like that, and then up into the 120s. I think I might have one execution in the 130s, definitely nothing up here as Roblox just now finally starting to build a 200. So it's only been in the market 200 days as the 200 period just starting to build right now. So Roblox, again, a very, very successful IPO. And I would say, same thing as you, Arun, there's very, very dangerous to trade this name, especially when it's moving like this. But again, for a day trade, I do like it. There was a question about swing trading. I don't think you really do much swing trading. I don't want to answer for you.
Well, if I do swing, it's going to be, so I day trade the S&P 500 futures, and for swing trading, I hold futures contracts that are non-S&P, so NASDAQ and other contracts. So I do swing them, but I don't swing the S&P 500. I swing other ones. So yeah, for me, I look at both, but there's a reason why I focus more on the S&P because of my positions that I hold in other futures contracts.
Okay, cool. So there you go. There's an answer there. But the thing is, I think it's important, just to your point, is to sort of take apart what you do at work and then what you're also doing for a longer term trade, right? And so keep that in mind. Are there any names you guys want us to look at here? Not you, Randy.
Still going.
Let's see what else is there. I see the reason why Roblox is down. Okay, maybe people are talking about that. Android not even close second. So Apple is killing it. I mean, I told you that. What are maybe we can go back to Ms. V. We can get an update on our poll here because again, I had to close it so we could see who's winning. But apparently, Apple right now taking that poll down. All right, Ms. V is ready.
Hey Sean, 683 people participated in the poll, and so far Apple is leading. 55 people, that's the wrong screen, Rob, thank you. 55% of our viewers prefer Apple, while 45% prefer Android. Wow. I'm on Apple side, so kind of happy in here. And by the way, guys, while we're here, don't you smash the like button. We have 2,500 people watching and only 450 likes. Please, let's push them to 1,000 and please until the end of the day. Yeah, like o'clock, Randy.
I got a question for Valeria again. She said she's on Apple side. What would happen if you had to use Android phone? Like how would you feel about it? Would you be okay? Would you be like, ew, no?
I would be sad.
You'd be sad?
Because I'm Apple user, like since 14 years old, I had only Apple, so why would I switch to Android?
I feel like that's a similar story for a lot of people that are in that environment, is that now they can't get out. And my wife is in the same boat.
I actually bought the very first iPhone, so I was able to get out.
Oh, okay.
No, look, I like it. I like the ecosystem. I mean, we're part of like the Apple family. So even as an Android user, you could still be part of it. So we pay whatever it is, $100 a year, and we can all enjoy everything on our phone. Like your Android phone there, you can get Apple Music, you can get Apple TV, all that stuff. So it's very, very similar. Either way, man, you're rolling with the best if you're with Android or with Apple. So I think that's good. I've never really been, I actually even went to the OnePlus. So that was an awesome phone as well. I like to sort of dabble in a few different things and see what we like. But I'm in love with the Pixel 6. I think it's a fantastic phone. So, all right, let's go on and try to talk about something else, man. I mean, AMC came all the way back in. I think we did a good job getting out of part of it there where we did. We'll zoom this back out so we can have maybe a little bit of a broader look here. I don't know, waiting for it to climb through. It's only 309, and like I'm trying to find out. No one's really saying too much here on the chat for what we want to trade. Yeah, the OnePlus. I think it's now up to like OnePlus 9 or something like that. I had the OnePlus 1, and I think the OnePlus 4 maybe, but they come in different shapes and sizes like the Pixel. So there we go. Okay, let's have a look at a new name. Why don't we look at? I mean, screw you, CGC. I mean, some of these cannabis names was just horrible, horrible, horrible. AMAT's been a name that's been working again. We like the semiconductor spot, so we could definitely have a look at that. We use PCs here, not Macs. If you are interested, Day Trade the World is the software that we're using, or the company that we're with. So we use proprietary software for Day Trade the World. And this is what I mean about, going into some space that has, upside moves. If we do believe in the metaverse, and, if Paris Hilton believes in the metaverse, then, your boys got to definitely believe in that one. How old is she now? I was going to say 40.
Valeria,
something?
do you know? Off the top of your head, how old Paris Hilton
I'm going to say 41.
What was the question?
Paris
Sorry?
Hilton's age.
Oh,
He doesn't
yeah,
know. She got
around
to Google
40,
it.
I believe. Same age around as Kim Kardashian.
My guess is 41, so I'm looking it up right now. Oh, she's 40.
On the dot. Valeria coming through.
Good job, Miss V, as well. She's on fire.
I'm
right
keeping
there.
up.
I feel like you might have looked that up, though, Miss V.
No, she didn't have time. I just went right off the top there to ask her that. She had no
Did you?
time.
Let me ask her. Did you, Miss V, look that up at any point today?
No.
So how did you know that?
As I said, because Kim Kardashian just was celebrating her birthday recently. I believe she turned 40, and they used to be best friends,
Oh, okay.
There you go. Gossip with
I
Miss
like
V
that.
is
I
going to
like
be the new
that.
segment
Valeria.
on Market Movers, guys.
Yeah, I'm
just
trying to
in
get
case
some
you wanted
segments
to
in
know.
here. Justin's backing away. He has nothing to talk about, so he won't be on today. But we'll have him on tomorrow. What's up to Justin? So yeah, AMAT taking out some new highs there. Good call, Ms. V, on that one. 40 years old. Good one. Paris Hilton, unbelievable. Probably half the people in the chat don't even really. We all probably know who she is, but wow. We'll go back on. She's the reason why Kim Kardashian and all these people are famous. Well, we all know why Kim Kardashian's famous. Maybe we can move on from there. What's up, Brendo?
Wait for it. There it is. I was just reading, guys. She gets $1 million to appear as a DJ for a night. 1 million.
As a DJ?
Not anymore. No way.
I just read that right now. I was reading a story.
What?
Yes.
I mean, I only charge $500,000. Miss V would be nice to get $1 million. Paris Hilton still gets that. I feel like there's no, I don't know, maybe I got to go on Instagram a little harder because I feel like these people have fallen off the face of the earth. I know Shaq DJs, so, but really DJs, like Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Have you seen that dude?
No.
That guy plays like the big parties and the big venues and everything like that. Apparently a really cool DJ. I'd love to go see Shaq live somewhere, but again, we're not even allowed in bars past 9 p.m. here in Ontario. So there you go on that one. But all right, another name that we looked at today, SoFi. Has been so frustrating a little bit here today. Am I positive on it? No. Okay, negative name here. As we got that last out right there, breaking back down below 1480. We tried to play this level, that last one, but so far so good. But we did dump out. It was a good trade early, but again, talk about it riding the VWAP. Hasn't even come back to it even close. And again, these names that don't make any money, that are high value, like what's the PE for SoFi? Do we even want to look this up? I mean, it's probably ridiculous. What is going on? AMD, did AMD get upgraded or something in the middle of the day here? Because this name is rocking to the upside. I feel like we're missing something. I'm not seeing anything here about this, but like, what is going on with AMD? Let's check out NVIDIA right now as well. 305, is this starting to go? So NVIDIA is still down 1.32. So AMD, very, very aggressive now to the upside, going green on the day, up more than 1.5% higher than NVIDIA right now. I feel like there's something came in here. It's just getting ramped up. We could check it out, but check out AMC as well. That's back above 28. Let's see what Brendan has to say about this.
This was going back to about 2:30 this afternoon, guys, so probably not this move, but AMD and, as you were just saying, Sean, OnePlus dropping out of CES this year, joining Microsoft, Google, and Intel. Yeah, COVID-related story, obviously, but interesting for AMD. Seeing a lot of volume right now.
Okay, so AMD there, I can't even take a drink here. So AMD there on that move makes no sense why I'd be ripping up on that. So again, and it goes back to your point of Mearsing, I believe it was, if you're buying high quality names, then you get these runs out of nowhere that you're not expecting sometimes. It could go the other way for sure, but I really think that we're in a great environment in 2022 to buy the SMH and to buy these NVIDIAs, the AMATs of the world, Global Foundries. Although my boy Neil always defends Intel. I mean, you've basically, if you've been holding Intel instead of AMD or NVIDIA, don't even open up the charts to look at both of them. Maybe now Intel has a little bit of a runway back up to the upside. We can actually check out some Intel here. Is that even moving today? Don't tell me it's still at $51. Oh man, like me and Neil have gone back and forth about this. He gets very, very defensive about Intel, but honestly, look at this move. I mean, Intel on the daily, like if you bought Intel, and I think we know why. If you bought Intel a year ago, you are flat right now. If you bought Intel a year ago, it's $51 a year ago. That's right here. I mean, right on it, right? January. I mean, even what it doesn't matter. 50.51. You're up about $1. If you look at AMD here, you can't do it. But if you go back to a year ago on AMD, January, it's $85 for AMD. So you've got about a double. Either way, it's made up tons of space there, let alone NVIDIA and so on and so forth. But that's where I'm thinking, guys. And we'll talk to Neil. I mean, he's back in 2 days. So we'll talk to him. Maybe there's something here. And I've heard what he's talked about, back up on CPUs and everything like that. But we've been sort of defending, or anyways, he has sort of since 58, 59, $60. It's fallen back in. And I even think Neil would agree right now, this is going to be a good buying opportunity for Intel. It looks like we're back above the 50-period moving average. But I would not, mark my words, I would not rotate money out of the winners into Intel. If you have new money, you might want to step into some INTC.
Going back to AMDs, interestingly enough, though, this is actually one of those stocks I was looking for today to catch on a bid or on a move down and just kind of bid into it. I was looking forward to it, but it didn't go as low as I would have liked. I was looking at 50. I was hoping we can get down into this area here, into this 51, 50 half area. And then I have alerts going off, and then I start looking into it. It looks like it didn't want to get that high or get that low, and now it's moving up back towards its highs. So here's what we got to pay attention to. I still have 146 marked off. That was going to be the level I wanted to work with if I was going to be able to catch a bid. And then any longs to the upside, you have resistance maybe around 156, but I mean, based on the way this market opened this morning, or this stock opened this morning, 156.50 would probably be the better choice here. So I'm still on board for AMD longs. It was set up this morning. It's still set up to go. We just need to find the right prices now, given that the stop is going to be around 146 for any trade. So preferably close to 151. Now that we know that 152 is going to be a problem, we're going to move that up a little bit, 152 to 152.50. Risk is going to have to go up a little bit just to catch this long. But I think you've got to look at AMD in the next couple of days, because there's going to be a setup. It's setting up now. And now after today's late session move to the upside, it confirms the activity north of 152. I think this is going to be one of those names you definitely got to watch. And I'm going to be trying tomorrow. I'm definitely going to try to catch some names. I'll put some bids down, see if I can actually catch it at the prices that I want. But AMD definitely on the list. As I was talking, AMAT just went off there. I'm not going to take it. It's too late in the day for me to start building any more positions. But AMAT, okay, yeah, this is why AMAT went off. AMAT, well, has done a multi-day break, right? Just north of this 159, call it 160. After breaking back down towards 159, the fact that we bounce back above 160 is going to set up a long for me for tomorrow. So I'm going to mark this off. This is going to be one of those trades I got to step into, unless, barring some crazy $3 move to the downside before the end of the day today, there should be a nice little long setup on AMAT ready to go for tomorrow. So we'll see if we can't get that trade up. That's going to be, I think, a high priority setup for me for tomorrow as we go to present.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a group move. Even this, I mean, much lighter volume, obviously, in this case, but even GFS having a nice little push back above VWAP, back above 65.5 there for Global Foundries. There was news on AMD and Global Foundries this morning. So a few from the semiconductor group, guys, trying to have a move here.
And Michael Travis, like, I'd like to address this, but I don't really know what it means. Intel is where all stocks should be. It's a reality of check where we actually at. Everything else is inflated. I mean, if where we really should be is like in a name, or I just don't get what that means for Intel. I mean, Intel's basically been dead money for a year, while the rest of the world and the market is really, I mean, the US economy is going crazy. I mean, they can't even keep NVIDIA, they can't even keep some of these GPUs in stock. So I mean, to me, the at-home play is an AMD and NVIDIA, things like that, and it should have been an Intel. And again, look, I'm a value guy for sure, and Intel does fit that. But at the same time, like, you don't hold Intel for a 2% dividend or whatever. That's ridiculous when AMD just moved 4% just right here on the day, right? So I don't, for me, and again, it's up to you. Everybody can hold themselves. Like, would I rather hold Intel than maybe like a DraftKings? Because we got a question. Yeah, probably. Intel, I think, is a safer play right now than something like a DraftKings. We do like it, man. I do like everything. And there goes AMC, by the way, to the upside. Nice little move there for AMC. Like, why is CVS up here? I was looking at CVS again, another play. CVS has been working like huge. Look at DraftKings, man. We talked about not getting involved. I sold this name at $62, and it's one of the good calls we finally made. Sure, I probably put the money into PaySafe and then lit it on fire, but you know, again, pretty happy with that out right there, and I have not bought back in. I know Trader Prad's in this name right now, but again, you know, when you don't have earnings right now and cash is king and you don't make any cash, this is a problem. They spend a lot of money on customer retention and on, you know, acquiring customer acquisition, and if you don't have that forward look right now, you can look at Penn, you can look at DraftKings. I would much rather stay in the bricks and mortar names like a Wynn. And the reason why I keep talking about Wynn, look, there's MGM, there's a lot of names out there. Wynn is a NASDAQ name. Traded it today already. We've talked about that. I'm still in Wynn right now. The reason why we like Wynn is because, again, the valuation on Wynn's properties, and it could be off, billion or two here or there, is $8 billion. The market cap right now is just north of $8 billion. So I think we're discounting everything that Wynn does as far as operating, cash flow, things like that. So that's why I like Wynn for a bump back up. And then I also think Macau on a reopen is huge as well. So those are my thoughts there, and we'll move on from that. But AMC, again, see, click on AMC, charts don't. There we go. We'll move over. AMC is a nice little win for us as well on the 1 minute chart as it just takes that out. And guys, we reloaded that like right in front of oops, the wrong key, that's a banging trade, but we did. You know, we did get reloaded down there in front of all of y'all. So that's a good trade that hopefully a lot of us have together on this trade. 27.83, a nice bump up here for AMC as it's starting to go. Wynn and Nikola both still in the money as well.
All right, so we're finally out of snow. We got out just north of 342. I actually paid to get out, paid to cross. Anyways, I crossed out to get out. We average about $6 or so after the first exit around 343 and the second one around 342. Here we are. You know what? I'm going to give you guys the sniper shot for that trade. That's been in play pretty much from 10 o'clock this morning. Finally dumped it for $6. I want to say $6 on average for the exit on snow. Nick, I see your question on ACN. I just want to, would you short ACN after how strong it is? Here's my thing with stocks that are running this fast, right? Anytime there's a pullback and a move back to the upside, any window for potential shorts kind of goes out the door because selling has already been done. And now here we are kind of, as Sean just did the reload, we reloaded back to the upside. So be very, very careful on a mover like this. Although sometimes you catch some of the best shorts when it's overextended and you just go ahead and be like, you know what, it's too high, let's go short. And I'm not that type of guy. I don't trade like that. I need to get some sort of confirmation to go for the short. For me, the way I'm looking at it is we failed here around that 410, 415 area. We're back to new highs. If we were to go back under 400, at that point, I know that there's something going on north of 400. At that point, I would feel more comfortable about going short. But to just blindly go for the short just because it's at its highs, that's a dangerous game to play because the last thing you want to do is step in front of a moving freight train. And if it decides that it wants to go from 400 to 500, unnecessary hit, right? I'd wait for some more action here, preferably south of 400 to get some more information. And then once we have that information, you go for the short.
Arun with the awesome trade. Right there, Snowflake's nice take, $6, $340 name or whatever, right?
Yep.
That's a risky position there, so good trade on that one, Mr. Arun. Sad that you're leaving us, but you'll be there every day back at 9 o'clock a.m. to talk about the futures, and hopefully, we'll just have you back in as we go and as we can. What's up, Ms. V?
Hey, Sean, we've got a super chat from Andrew Harris. Hey, guys, any thoughts on airlines? They keep canceling flights, but stocks keep going up. Any thoughts on airlines, guys?
Yeah, I was just actually going to look at that right now. And honestly, we only have 600 likes right now. If you guys could just hit that like button. We had 800 votes on that poll. So if you can hit that like button, please, that'd be awesome. If you could do that if you're on your mobile or whatever, that would be great. And I think you have to be a YouTube subscriber. You have to be subscribed to the station. I know there's something there about the likes, but if you could hit that, that'd be great. We're trying to get to 1K, so let's see if we could do that. Okay, so I like LUV with Southwest here. The reason why, I think that with domestic flights, hopefully, and again, right now they don't require passes. They don't require, vax passports or anything like that. That may be coming. If it does, then we do obviously have some more downside moves here to go with that. We could take Pratt off the screen, man. I don't need to see that guy. And plus, honestly, I don't think we should have Pratt up if he's not aware of it. So shout out to that. Everybody's over there. So Pratt, turn your camera off, bro, or these guys are going to put you on. Okay, so I like Southwest here. I think it's a good look. I would rather take it on a flush down, but there's a big flush right there. Airlines aren't going anywhere. It's a great way to travel. And I think as we become more confident with Omicron, with some of these viruses, and then with the way to treat them, how severe are they, so on and so forth. I believe travel's back, and it's going to be back very, very soon. So, I mean, you mentioned Southwest going down. It's not really. I think it's okay right here. If you wanted to play it safe and you weren't sure on the name, I am recommending right now, and they pay like a yearly dividend, I think of 20 cents or something. So you don't hold this for the dividend. And I know obviously some airlines do have a dividend, but if you take Jets, this is one that, hey, you might be safer in this name. Obviously, it's not as aggressive as the other plays, but they hold about 10% of all the major airlines. We showed it the other day, the weighting on the ETF. I like the Jets ETF. So if you're not specific on what name, and maybe you have a little bit more cash, I would throw it into this and then just keep going upside here. If you like it, it's going to get to view up is only 22, but back up in this area, a nice little win for you on Jets. But again, less aggressive than actually holding a name. To be honest with you, and I point over there because Arun's been trading it, I don't hold any airlines whatsoever, but I do hold Boeing. So I think that Boeing is like one of those secondary plays, maybe into an airline that if you didn't like an airline specifically, obviously Boeing has a lot of room back to the upside. They're a monopoly by Boeing. I don't even think Airbus can test them. So we're ready for somebody. What's up?
This ISIG guys popped up this morning. We were talking about it briefly. Halted on the way up, in fact. Just breaking back to the downside, so it was holding 20 for support for most of the day, but pretty heavy volume actually came in there, back to 19 now. Still up, though, huge for ISIG.
Sean mentioned Boeing off the top. That's actually my number 2 winner on the day here. We had this in the pre-market long, 203, and dumping it around 207. Topped out around 209. Well, we dumped half around 207, the rest around 206. And it's still sitting at that 206. And the reason here, I'll go through the Boeing trade. And there's a reason why I went for this long at 203. This is the daily here. there was enough action yesterday where I have this 197 area marked off, and I was hoping that we'd get closer to 200 to get some confirmation. The fact that we kind of went up a few days in a row, tried to go down yesterday and ended up positive, gave me conviction that there was going to be a nice little buy move today. So I did step in because it didn't look like we were going to get past that 202 and change. So you know what? I'll take the 203, and we dipped right into 202 and then snapped. And this was one of those like down $1 off right off the open, and then boom, it goes $6 within like 10 minutes, and then it just kept going right all the way up to 209. So it does now, like that move is done, and it moves violently. And now that it's done its move, I gotta, kind of box this in again, because I'm gonna have to put in 215 as a top end, because I see this resistance going back to essentially it's like a July low, and then a September low, and then a November low or October low, and there's a ton of activity inside this 207 into the 210s. So we got to either look for fades north of 210, or we got to look for something south of 201, see if we can actually make sense of this trade. But I think Boeing's move, until we get out of that range, that 215 through 197 area, until we get out, I think the Boeing's trade is kind of done for now anyways. We'll set something up, put the alerts out. When it happens, it happens. You want the trade with the least resistance, right? You don't want to have to constantly have to make decisions on what to do. So for me, I know that north of 215 I want to buy, north of around 210 I want to potentially fade, so I'll set up alerts for that. I know south of 197 I want to sell, and maybe around 201 I'll go for some buys. So set up alerts for that. Anything in the middle, I don't need to waste my time with it. So Boeing is there. It's a big name, yes, but we're going to put some alerts out and let it do its thing, and once it decides which direction it wants to go, alerts go off, we'll make some trades and make some money at that.
Yeah, alert. Thanks, Daryl, for chipping in there about LUV, saying it's a buy near 41, which is what I was saying. 41, 40, I think is a good level for LUV, and then watch out for said downside there. Thank you one more time, Daryl, for participating and helping us out there with some of the calls. Okay, AMC still now 35 cents in the money, 50 cents in the money for NKLA, and Wynn, we're almost tapping out on Wynn right now. I'm just not going to let this do what it's done numerous times. A nice, oh man, I'm sitting here reading the chat like we should have reloaded again on Wynn there. How many times is Wynn going to bounce off 86.65 here? Like, wow, all afternoon, man. Wow, that was interesting down there. Should have been buying again. We would have looked too smart though to do that, so we don't want to do that. Oh, someone said earlier, why? This is funny. This is the best. Because you're here and because we're good friends and we've been friends for 15 plus years. Why can't the gentleman on the right be nicer to the gentleman on the left? So the gentleman on the left will smile. Smile and good job, guys. What are you doing is great. Thanks for the animation. Yes, well, that's the thing. Arun?
Yo.
Smile?
No.
No, see? So there you go. So I can't even get this guy to smile. So that's the other thing. So, we've had him smile a couple times here on the show, but yeah, we're, everything's cool, man. We're good. This is just our MOs, right? Like, we gotta play in our own little areas here. So Arun smiled. No, I like that. That was good. So we're going back there too. So SoFi heading to VWAP. Yeah, Arun is the man. That's for damn sure. What was that? SoFi heading to VWAP. Let's have a quick look at SoFi. I wouldn't mind getting some money back on. Oh yeah, nice. I wouldn't mind getting some money back here on SoFi. It's very small. We're out like, I don't know, small on that on SoFi, because we were able to make some trades there, but then we bought again at 15 and then bought again at 84 and then got out at 80 break, and now it's starting to make some moves back up to the upside. But again, like, I'm not that interested unless we see some volume right now. There's only 25 minutes left in the day, and it's just doing this, man. It's not moving that well. That is SoFi. So I don't know. I like SoFi moving forward, but again, it's got to have volume behind it. 20 million shares is nice, but not great. Someone said, how is ISIG doing 42 million shares when the float outstanding is 1 million? Yeah, I mean, it's just, first of all, there's more shares out there. I think ISIG is probably not an option eligible name. You guys can let me know if it is, but that obviously affects that as well. As the stock starts to go, people have to cover. There are going to be shares out there for borrow. But the thing about ISIG is, and I think you have to be very, very careful, I don't know if they've raised before. So I don't know if they've raised before. And what I mean by that is that this must be a reverse split. So there's, what? No, that can't be a reverse split, can it? Then why would there only be 1 million shares out there unless the float was really low in the first place? Oh, sorry, it's the other way. So yeah, they may have gone from 95 cents here to 560 on some kind of a split. I don't know if that's true. Maybe Brendan can check that out. Last January, ISIG, no idea what happened. I mean, it doesn't make sense that it was a SPAC, but again, it's doing tons of volume here, and it's just people are holding the shares, and this can happen. AMC was doing this very, very similar thing. You can turn over volume over and over and over again, especially if the shares are being re-entered back into the market. And there are, I forget the word you call it, but not false shares, but there's a word I'm looking for. What was that?
Synthetic shares.
Synthetic shares. Good job right there. Synthetic shares as well in the market created by some of the delta and some of the options and so on and so forth happening. But this is interesting. I actually never zoomed back this far to see ISIG back in January. Brendan.
Was that, sorry, you said January?
Yeah, it makes sense that it was like a reverse split.
Yeah, I think
here.
it is.
Maybe December 31st.
It's 1 for 7, January 4th of this year.
Yeah, that is the day. So there it is right there. So at least we got that one right on the reverse split. So that makes perfect sense. So when you reverse split, you take shares away from the market, right? So that's probably what happened. They probably had 10 million float. They reversed it 1 to 7. So now you're at that 1.7 million shares or whatever they have outstanding there. So yeah, it can fly around in ISIG. Let's just see if there's any volume coming into this name right now. Yeah, no. So nothing coming in. Ooh, though. As I can see this right here, this might be something interesting as we're starting to sort of barcode here a little bit at similar levels where we've taken off before. So ISIG on a break of, I mean, is it too obvious right now? There's only 25 minutes left. Is this too obvious of a break, guys? Like 1940? Well, obvious or not, I'm going to put an order in. And if we take out, forget about those wicks, I want to take out this level, which is 40. So 1940. Break, we're going to go long, and I think it's worth it. Yeah, at least get back to VWAP. That's $1. Like, that's probably worth it, right? We'll take that $1 there. Let's see if ISIG wants to make the dream work here at the end of the day, because 1940, we're just going to put it in right now and just take it. We'll have to cross up to what, 45s or 50s? What's the spread look like? 10 cents. So we have to cross up to at least 50s. Let's see if we could take that here on a runner through 1940. So we'll put a bid in for 1950. That should definitely get us to fill. But again, not interested unless that does break. Peloton to 52-week lows. We talked about that one. The stories that are coming out of MasterCard and things like that, talking about it being a better winter, a better Christmas spend than normal, leads me to think that Peloton has movement to the upside still. And I know it's getting absolutely destroyed. We put in a small amount of money at 40 on the 40 break, and since then it's kind of just been going to the downside. We did get a nice little move. Oh, okay. Okay, ISIG. We actually get 50 there. Oh, man. So, wow. Look what happens when, let's go back over there. So look what happens when it breaks. Like, the spread basically opened up huge. Like, we should have put in more aggressively. That's not a good move there. We should have put in a bid. Yeah, there it goes. I should have put in a bid like 1940, 42 or 43, so we get the fill if it dances. But, okay, it took it out. Let's see now what it does. Honestly, because it was $1 worth of risk to the upside, we can comfortably give this back to 1880, which would be, 70 cents of a loser on the way down. So this risk reward pays off, but it only pays off if it goes upside. So we'll put one order in around 90 there to make 40 cents, and then hopefully we can get this all the way back up to the upside. But we probably just got duped there again. And this is what happens. Like, it's not a big position for me where we can get it out right now at 36. Take a 14-cent hit if you want to. No problem. But I'm going to see if this one can work. Let's see if this goes back up to 2040 here on ISIG.
All right. One name that someone mentioned Moderna, and then for anyone who watches the show, I don't like Moderna because I'm really bad at trading it. So I instantly looked at NVAX, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Wasn't there a comment about Pfizer earlier today? NVAX has got a huge range, and that's the reason why I'm going to Pfizer, is because I think Pfizer is more tradable. And I'm looking at the day range and the day multi-day move on Pfizer here. And when it comes to vaccine plays and just generally how to kind of participate in it, given some of these names are coming off a little bit. NVAX, I think, is down today as well, big. So Pfizer, you're seeing some buying here. It's clearly evident the day that it moved up. This is the 16th. It kind of came down into that 58 area, popped up. Okay, great. And then we started to really stall out around 61, 62. And that's why I have that 62 level marked off here. And then when we kind of gapped down and shot down here, we bounced right off this 57 something area and back into 59. So The following days, though, you're starting to notice, obviously selling is coming from the top end as the highs get lower, but there is some volume activity around this 58, and that kind of confirms what you saw on the 16th. So I'd keep a very close eye on this area here around this 58 into 57 in the event that we get a nice little setup, because I am noticing that Pfizer's got a late session rally pretty much from 12 o'clock onward. It's kind of done this V-shaped recovery here in the same area. So nice little activity. You're getting this action. I think once we get above 58.50, we should get some confirmation. And if that holds, and I think that's a critical thing, it needs to hold. So absorb some more selling that comes in. Once it holds, I think you take a shot and see if you can't get it towards 62. I'm looking at Pfizer. I'm putting the alert out. I'll keep an eye on it for the next couple days and see if we can actually set up a trade. But you have to respect the fact that the market is putting in higher low or lower highs. So there is still some sell pressure over the top. Just respect that, but be prepared for potential long as we go to Brennan.
Another one that's been active the past couple of days, guys, popping back up here. I'll show you in a sec. Microbot Medical. Worth noting on this one. This one also 6.8 million on the free float. How much has this done today? 8 million shares on the day, but kind of, I mean, constructive to say the least. There was a pop back above 8. We got to 820. Tight little consolidation here, trying to get back maybe today highs at least for MBOT heading into the close.
We traded MBOT yesterday. We are going to average into ISIG here. Let's look at MBOT quickly. Okay, so 825, 826. We'll have to see where we traded this yesterday as the data's loading. Here we go. Valeria, I have some bad news for you, by the way. Greg found a spider.
What?
Yeah.
Where? Big one?
Yeah, we can leave it up to him. He just messaged me, so I don't know. As long as it's not on your desk, I guess we're fine. Good thing Neil wasn't here, or else the guy'd be running for the exit. But yeah, anyways, I know Ms. V doesn't like it, so we'll remind her. But I believe Greg has exterminated said spider. So get ready. Okay, here goes MBOT. Let's just see what's happening right there. Back up to the upside, 830. 860, 870, I don't know, something like that coming through on MBOT. Where did we trade this the other day? Yeah, so this was an early break. Actually, it was in the afternoon in front of you guys. I think we had this earlier too, yeah. So yesterday, MBOT was just a silly trade, man. Like, we missed the 5 break, we get that, we take about 60 cents right there, and then here's an 850 long, out 885, that's 40 cents, and then another 30 cents there before it eventually pops and then drops. So watch out for MBOT. Obviously, yesterday in the afternoon, it got spicy again with the size, and it seems like we're spicy one more time with a little bit of size coming through for MBOT. What's up, guys?
Hey, Sean, I just remembered. You remember we were live on Market Movers? There was a spider live on my keyboard, and you came and saved me. So I wanted to give you a big shout out for that reason. And besides that, guys, let's do the last like count. Indeed, my hero. Let's do the last like count of this day. 19 minutes left until the end of the show, and I remind you that 1,000 likes is our goal. We have even more viewers now, 2,700. So if you just joined us or you forgot to give us a like, please do it right now. We need literally just 100 more likes. If Greg can eliminate Spider, you can help us to get 1,000 likes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we can definitely get to that. And yeah, I remember that day. That was, the spider was there. We're just like, no spiders were harmed in the making of that video. So yeah, I'm going to leave MBOT alone here and just wait to see. I mean, if it breaks, it breaks. It looks like we might have got burned there a little bit on ISIG, but I mean, by a little bit, we could get. Hey, now that's 1,000 likes right there. So shout out to whoever that was for hitting the 1,000th like, and whoever that man is there. I feel like we should change that to like Miss V doing something would be much better. But that's kind of been one of the original animations there, Rune, that we had was that old man doing that. What do you think about the animation?
I mean, I only have one animation that I use. I see Neil's Stream Deck. I'm like, wow, you guys have so many. I'm just going to press some random one. I don't even know what this one does. Oh, piggy bank broken.
Yeah, you're cashing out or you're...
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
There's some decent animations here, but the only one I look at, the sniper shot. That's my own custom animation here Rob made for me. Thank you, Rob. On SNOW. So just a recap of all the trades that I've taken today. The big winners are going to be SNOW and BABA, and then I think one miss in my case would be Walmart. Oh, I screwed up Walmart so bad on the way I managed this trade. Yeah, your boy had a long down here, 140 half. and got it out at what? 140, 140. I like both of these exits. Half at like 50 some, 49 or something like that, and then the rest at 140. Like within seconds of me getting out south of 140, it took off to 142. And then there was an accidental move there, so ignore that green. But then it's still going strong, and I think Walmart's got to be one of those movers, man. You got to keep an eye on Walmart because it is moving to some resistance now. So now we've missed the long, or we mismanaged the long, and now here we are on Walmart going strong. This was a nice little setup here. Now we're coming into this 143, 144. Keep an eye on this area. Maybe a short. Respect the strength of it though, but there is something to pay attention to, at least towards that 144 in the event that we need to actually fade it. But it was setting up nice around that 140. There you go, $3 move across a couple days, and now we're hitting some resistance. If it keeps going past that, I think you gotta let it go because there's nothing there that you can actually work with. But Walmart, I think a misstep on my case. And then on the sell side, or on the negative side of things, it was stock sell. I think it was a semiconductor ETF. It was just, it was, this is what happens when you step in front of a freight train and get run over right here, right off the open, because I stepped in and it was coming down, got long, and then decided that it was still good. Yeah, I caught it as it was falling down, and then it had a little chance there. What happened there?
You see that?
No, I didn't.
But check this out.
Chickens crossing the road. That was...
Oh man, trying to get you to smile, man. It's not working. Damn it.
173 down to 171. That was me getting run over. Here's the thing with people and trying to get me to smile. When I'm trading, I'm on. I'm constantly thinking of either of stocks that I need to figure out and levels, processing information, whatever. So my natural tendency is to kind of look angry. But it is to kind of be straight faced. It's because I'm thinking of stuff or I'm going through information. And I can't, put on a smile and do that at the same time. I just can't multitask like that. So I'm prioritizing my stocks and my money versus me smiling. Hey man, I'm a trader first. I'm not an entertainer, so I'm going to focus on where the money comes from, always, every day, all day. So hopefully you guys can, understand and go with that.
Arun needs a Tickle Me Elmo. Have you ever seen those Tickle Me Elmos?
I have.
Those are annoying, but we had one, I think for both our kids. We passed it down, man. The Tickle Me Elmos, yeah, crazy. But let's do a quick little look here on crypto as we're getting close to 345. It always shrinks when I bring it over here. Let's just do a quick refresh on the CoinGecko portfolio. Right now, we did have Mr. Wonderful, and I don't know if you noticed, he was talking a hell of a lot about Polygon today, which is a big position of mine. Not big, but bigger. Actually, I own more Polygon than I do Bitcoin, which is crazy. But Polygon Matic, a nice little runner here recently. There's some nice moves down today, though, in the Bitcoin marketplace, which, yesterday was hot, or was today hot for you? Was it yesterday or today?
I think it was yesterday.
It was, yeah, because and yesterday hot just didn't work, and it's not working again today. And you could see here some of these altcoins down much greater than, are they even altcoins at this point? There are a lot of coins in the game. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, both down over 24-hour period, about 6%. Solana, that's another big one that we were talking about today, down 8%. Cardano, similar to that. Most of the altcoins down, multiple. There's Mana down again there. And then again, I'm in this, the 3 times long Cardano bull, which down 23% today. But you're not in, honestly, man, you're not in crypto to look at it on a daily basis. If you are, there's a hell of a lot of money to be made on crypto. So don't get that twisted, especially if you are scalping back and forth like we do here on the show. I wish our platform was a little more capable of doing that, because that would be unbelievable to scalp some crypto. And if you guys are doing that, man, let me know, because you can make algorithms and so on and so forth to scalp that crypto. We only have 4 minutes to go here before the imbalances come out and start to affect some of the indexes and some of the names. But remember I said, like, NASDAQ could go back to positive today. We're very, very close to that. We took out that 16,500, which was right here, actually right there, made that move back to the upside. We'll see about a retracement back to VWAP. We got to get at least, I think it's 16,560 or so. Will put us back to Greensville here on the NASDAQ. So that's another name that we're looking at. And similar to Arun, although I try to entertain you guys as Arun does as well, you always catch me looking as well back and forth and around as we try to find some new names to trade for you. AMD back to 154.40 right now and still going. What's up, Mike? There it is. Yeah, there you go. You were smiling when you had the $28 short, Arun, whatever that was. I think that was mRNA. You had a big win. We've had multiple.
Or
CRM.
I think.
Or was it CRM was one of them?
CRM.
We've had some big winners on the show, man. That was another one of them. I think we took $40 or $50 on, what was the name? There was one day when I had a big one as well. You had a big one. Neil's had some big ones. Upstart's been a good name for us to trade here on the show. NVIDIA back to 305 as well. I'm just kind of waiting here until the imbalances come out, guys.
Yeah, Mike Rehan, I was smiling. I was smiling all the way to the bank. That's why. So in that situation, you know, you kind of got to. So going back to imbalances, which come out in about 2 minutes or so, for anyone who's new and who's seeing this, we talk about imbalances. I like to do this primer every single time because we always have new viewers, right? You have to respect the fact that new viewers are coming out. So imbalances come out to participate in the closing prices there. It's just one of those things where everyone puts an order in with an on-close order tag. So when it comes out at 350, that information is released, you get to see which side more people want to participate in. So it tends to kind of put some pressure in the stock as we get to the end of the day. The closer and closer you get to the end, the more and more information that gets updated. And then as it goes, you kind of go from there. And you just pay attention to this because it kind of gives you an idea of where the pressure is going to come from. A lot of the times you get that 350 release, and then that 355, you get another update on this, and it kind of disappears, or they get smaller. These imbalances get smaller. The ones you got to pay attention to are the ones that don't get smaller, or they get bigger. So if a large amount comes out at 350, and then it just stays that big even after 355. And the reason that matters is because at 355, the floor brokers also send their orders, and that's why there's a large change in these numbers. So this is more of a helpful thing as we get closer to the end of the day, just so in the event you're long. Like me, I'm still long on TJX. It's out 15 cents. Now, if there's a sell side imbalance that stays after 355, I have no chance that this is going to come back and get me out flat. So I'm just going to take the hit. No point in holding on to it because pressure is going to be on the sell side, so we're going to walk away from it, right? That's just one of those things where you pay attention to it just so that in the event that even if the amounts aren't large, you just kind of avoid tricky situations. And here we go. Imbalances are going to be out right now. Updates are
downside.
Okay,
it looks like the market's cracking.
Sell side? Yeah. Okay. 1.56 million shares on MDT to the sell side. Alcoa buy side. Is it Alcoa? AA buy side 1 million shares. Only two stocks north of 1 million shares, but market fell about 5-6 points there. You're not getting a whole lot of activity here from the individual names because these imbalances are small, but the futures did crack. It looks like probably a net sell on the inbound side of things, but the imbalances individually are not that large. So here we are waiting, and it looks like TJX is not going to come back for me. So TJX is not even here. It probably doesn't matter. But TJX, you know what? Why don't we try to do some damage control on TJX and maybe to walk away with like a 10-cent hit or something like that. I'll leave it up there in the mid-90s and maybe protect some of this as the futures still go toward their lows. As here we are, as we broke from 85 down to 78. So 7-point move to the downside and still going down.
Yeah, still making moves to the downside. We're going to try to just get out of our win right now if we can. I have an offer out here. We'll see if we get filled. I mean, the market just making the move to the downside right now, an aggressive sell to the downside. So you could see Nikola starting to go down. And our win was we just took that one last shot. You know, we're just trying to see if it was going to go back to VWAP. But there is eventually, or finally, the break on win. So it is starting to go back to the downside. So we did expect that if the bounces were going to come negative. And yeah, there still looks like Arun still pushing to the downside here on some of these imbalances. So AMC right back in. We can check to see, were they on the locator? I didn't notice AMC on here, to be honest with you. So we'll sort this, by size. There actually isn't that much. I'm actually surprised. Maybe it's AMD here that is sort of saying, hold my beer to everybody. That's a big sell. Yeah, look at that, 153.50. So we may have found the culprit here on the sell side for stock. AMD looks like it's making a move down on a 1-minute chart. There it is. What a blow up right there from 154.25 in 1 minute, right down almost $1 straight on AMD on a 600,000 or so. Yeah, 600,000 sell there. That's probably what's really crashing this down. So AMD starting to go back out. There we go. We out of Wynn. I mean, Wynn today, a good trade for me. There's no doubt about that. But it does break. It doesn't look good right there. But that's only 6 cents. So a nice little break there on Wynn. Sorry. 16 cents on that one, but a nice break for Wynn today. One of my number one stocks just unfortunately didn't hold up right there at the end. So we'll hold on to that one. ISIG. Okay, I see you're just going to dance around again and make me decide what to do. Tried to average into that. it worked a little bit. We do have a bid that we got filled at 03 there. It ripped up to 39. What's my average price? 34. So, if we get another little bit of a bump up, let's just cash this out. If we can get flat, we'll be happy with that with only 8 minutes left. And again, just because we talk about those of you that are watching us for the first time, we have to be flat at the end of every day. So it's not like I can swing this ISIG overnight. So we have to be flat. So that's what we're going to do, is start to empty out some of our trades. AMC, let's not let this one turn into a loser, which it won't. So let's just punch this out right now on AMC. We'll offer. Look, we put an offer in and it just starts to tank all the way to the downside there. But there it is. It rips up through 90 and we get that fill there. So, yeah, that ran away quite fast. But again, not bad. We go long 83s. We take out 01s. That's 17 cents. Then we take out 15s. That's 15 plus 17, 32 cents right there. And then finish the day off with about 7 cents as we go. And we're just letting our winners ride like we talk about all the time. Here goes Nikola back down to the downside, right near day's low. Let's cash that out for another 60 cents. And then all we're really doing right now, the pins are lining up and we are stacking some of this cash, as I really want to get my kids into bowling right now. They want to get into curling. So, Canadian, what do you expect? We'll drop this down to the downside right now and start raining out some cash. Put a bid on here for Nikola, and let's call this a day, guys.
Yeah, someone in the chat's like, what happened to the SPX in the last few minutes? Imbalances came out in the last few minutes. So that's why we pay attention to these imbalances, because if there's enough sell pressure across all the names at the same time, you could see a move in the market like this. And what you're seeing is, you're not seeing it on the board. They're not large, but odds are they all came in the same direction. So, and you're seeing a nice little move to the sell side. Market's been up the last few days, so a sell move kind of brings this market down quite quickly. So here we are. In about 30 seconds, we'll get an update. MDT is still at the top of the list, 1.5 million shares on the sell side. AA still 1 million shares on the buy side. Nothing's really changed at the top end of this list. I think, it just disappeared. I noticed that AMD was there at the number 4 spot. It doesn't seem like not a whole lot. We got GPS at 720. You're not going to get a whole lot of action. It looks like the top 2 are going to stay for now. In about 5 seconds, we'll do this live here. In about 3 seconds, we should get an update here. These might disappear, the MDT and the AA. No, MDT is going to stay. Okay, let's quickly go over to MDT and see if this is going to be a problem for MDT. It's a New York name. 1.5 million shares on a stock that's done 3.7. Yeah, this is going to be a problem for MDT because that's almost 50% of the day's volume. So this could definitely move some names, move some stock here, move the stock itself. $104 name. Okay, let's move this down to a 1 minute chart so we can see the influence of this imbalance. Initially, this is 45, 50, 60. So sell side, initial flush to the sell side.
Oops.
We moved about, it's not that big actually, surprisingly, but we did move about 15 to 20 cents to the sell side and then came all the way back. Still sell side imbalance, but I mean, as you can see, there's nothing north of 1 million. We like to pay attention to names that are north of 1 million shares. And they can get smaller towards the end, but if they're already starting small, the situation only gets worse, right? So here we are waiting for something to happen. Maybe MDT might provide something to work with. I'm still I'm gonna have to work my way out of this TJX as well. I'll hold out until the last possible second, but I'm gonna try and get some mid-90s if I can. If the market wants to cooperate, maybe a little move. Future sitting at a nice little support from previously, so maybe we get a nice little move to the upside. It brings TJX up with it into the 90s so I can actually cash out some. But for now, we are going to keep an eye on MDT sell side, 1.48 million shares, and it's still there. And we've got about 3 minutes, three and a half minutes before this closes. So as we get closer to the end, this number should start getting smaller, and this stock should start moving to the downside. What you got to pay attention for is, in the event that this actually changes from a sell to a buy, you're going to see MDT shoot up straight pretty much to the upside, because then there's too many people playing in one direction. That means, you got to send the opposing order, right? If it's if it's a sell side imbalance, then I got to put in a sell order, offset that with a buy order. And if there's too many offsetting orders, which would be buys, the imbalance itself would now change directions and go to the upside. So keep an eye on this and how this plays in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, we're trying to get out of our last little bit. You can see we are long ISIG now at 1904. We emptied it out here, 28s, 29s, stuff like that. We're just trying to see if it does bump one more time, and we'll get out on a break upside right now. We are long on the averaged in price. It's not this is going to be a flat trade after all. Thank God it didn't break lower, and we were able to get 1903 bid right here. So again, a break of 50, an averaged in price of 3 gives us something in the middle, 25, 26, something like that. And then there we got out of it, and now we're trying to hold one last, but I can't get out. Like, it's running away. All these D prints, like, look at these shares, guys. You guys want to trade this with like decent share sizes? 20s, 10s, 70s. There are some odd prints that are half decent sizes that go through, but again, on any kind of move up, it's like all these dark pool prints just keep on going off. ISIG just not doing much right here. So we'll see where it goes from here. But that's that story. You could see what Wynn did, man. Wynn's just been falling to the downside. I left a stop order in, which reminds me, let's get out of these. I don't have any more stop orders, do I? Nope. So that stop order, you could see that was a good out for Wynn. This is why we keep talking. If you break these levels, you got to get out. And that's my out right there. I wish I would have held that short by accident, as that would now be in the money half decent. So Wynn starting to make a move back to the downside as the market definitely did not like that imbalance come out. So that's what's been happening right now. Tesla. Will Tesla finally break that 70 tomorrow? It's bounced off there a couple times, off 80 today. We'll see if it wants to do that. The 20-minute. We got to zoom back in a bit here. This is some of the, like that 70 level that we're talking about right into here. The market's red tomorrow. I believe Tesla does crack that, and when it does do that, then we may test 1,000 one more time. But with only a minute left, we're getting ready to ring that bell. There goes Ms. V heading over to do that. Tesla dancing around right now. We can see what it does, but the market still fading out to the downside here. You're out of all your positions?
Yeah, I'm out. And MDT's also gone, by the way. That 1.5 has disappeared. So here you have a pop in MDT from that 104.50.
Okay, we're just going to get out now on ISIG, as it looks like it's still making a move back down to the downside. We never got that last fill, so this one's going to be one of those ones. Okay, we got to get the countdown ready to rock and roll here, because we often miss this recently, so we'll get ready to rock and roll. There's now only 20 seconds, so please empty out. There we go, we got flat there. Empty out of all your positions and get ready to rock and roll, and I'm going to hit the countdown right now, as the timing should be relatively perfect. I think I'm 2 seconds early there. With getting ready to go down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, let's go Blue Jays on a nice little move to the downside. Hopefully the Maple Leafs back in action in the new year. Was a pretty good day, I think, so far for us today, although the NASDAQ did not end on the greatest note. A little bit of a bump up here for some reason, but Brendan, how did we wind up?
Yeah, I mean, 5 days in a row to the upside, so we'll take it. How about that? Basically flat there for the S&P, just slightly into the red. 0.45 for the Dow. NASDAQ was red. TSX closed again. We'll finally reopen tomorrow, so we'll get some Canadian stocks back in trading. Brazil lower. Yeah, crypto's still sliding. They do not close, obviously, so to the downside for Bitcoin.
And thank you to Top Dog there. Made almost $3,000 and said we had another great show. So thank you to Arun for that one. I mean, a lot of good plays here today. We traded AMC, AMD, Apps, Ether, Facebook, ISIG, Macy's, Nikola, Relly, SoFi, and Wynn. Very, very good day for me. Very profitable. Half decent on some of the calls. You had a great one there as well. AMD was a good one for us today, scalping. We didn't have any trades in the afternoon on it, and Macy's was definitely a big win for me today. And we'll look to do that again. AMC, another one. Oh, I want to show everybody on AMC before we go here. This is what happens. Like, you got to get out, man. When levels break, AMC does crash back to the downside. As you can see, a nice day for us here on AMC as well. And Wynn, needless to say, was a good day. The only thing that we really screwed up was that Nikola, and it is your trade of the day. So today is Tuesday, so we got 2 more days together. Should be fun. Lots to look forward to. I don't like that last little move there on the NASDAQ, but you can see it's coming back up. So any last second thoughts before we wrap this, Arun?
Oh, let's wrap it up. Apparently there's going to be some bad weather coming in. I want to get home.
Yeah, buddy. I hope the bad weather's not coming, but I've already been told to pick up some chicken on the way home, so we might not be barbecuing tonight if it is bad weather. Shout out to Miss Maggie over there. Shout out to Rob as well. Great job today, Rob. Sorry that you had to work a little bit with Randy. I don't know where Randy went. He's gone too, probably. Thanks to Prad as well. Big show today. Happy birthday, not only to Prad's mom, but also to your dad, Rob. So a big birthday day today. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we can do a little Let's just do this. I can't find the fireworks right now, but there we go. Alert, alert, alert. If it's your birthday, happy birthday as well. Miss V, happy birthday to you. And of course, it's not your birthday, but happy birthday. And happy birthday to you, Brendan, whenever that happens to be. And Arun, maybe a birthday, we'll get a birthday smile. We'll find out when it's Arun's birthday, and we'll get him. He's just like, I'm still looking up on this one. But thank you to everybody for watching. It's always been a good show. We're proud to make this happen for you. Join us every single day at 8:30. We're back tomorrow, and hopefully the voice will be back as well. Catch you on the flip side. Baka baka to take something from my man Prad and Miss V.